Yo, people, what is up? It's your boy Jason Gooner back again with another episode on Jason Gooner TV. Tonight, as you can see in the title, we're going to be discussing the Reggae Boyz in action around the world. Also, we're going to say some prayers. Please, no injuries going into this next window. We are, people, only 7 weeks away. 7 weeks away, people. So the first World Cup qualifier will be June 6th. As you know, we are hosting the Dominican Republic. So we're just praying that everybody can get through their respective seasons injury free, and those who are injured now can be on the mend and fully healed for that first encounter on the 6th. So yes, people, we're going to discuss some Reggae Boyz in action, go around the world, check their ratings, see who's played, see who hasn't gotten a chance to play. Definitely going to go through that. Also, not in the title, but going to just touch on briefly the Reggae Boyz recently making moves in the CONCACAF rankings index, and also making a small jump on the FIFA rankings as well. So we'll look at both of those. And also, of course, you know, we are a channel that looks at reggae boys, reggae girls, everything Jamaica, but also we have one eye on the Premier League as well. Me being Jason Gooner, you know that we are watching the EPL title race. So we're going to go through that as well, talk about some of the results in the midweek fixtures, and have a small preview for the weekend fixtures as well towards the end of the show. So people, as you enter, you already know the rules. Please like the content, subscribe to the channel, share it to a couple of people that you may know that may enjoy having some football discussions with us here. So let's go ahead and see who's in the building from early on. Of course, big supporter, Fresh God always here. Bless up, bro. Respect for being here. Yeah, man, we can enjoy it, you know. United is not there, but had a very action-packed match today. So we're gonna go through that. Of course, the Chelsea Man U game was one for the history books today, people. That was a very exciting encounter. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Make them know Fresh like up the live, you know. Sheridan, bless up, my brethren. Bless up. Respect for being here. I know you have an early morning, so you can always watch it on the watch back if it get too late. Yeah, man. Big up, cuz. Respect. Martin, bless up, you know, bro. Yeah, man. Respect. One Chelsea, they say. One Cole Palmer, eh? Bless up, Drew. Respect for being here, bro. Big up. You don't know, like the content. Yeah, man, Drew. We have to update the thing, you know. Get it proper. The people them say them never like the standard, you know. It wasn't matching the content, so we had to make the camera catch up to the content, you know. Yeah, man. We have to give thanks every time, man. Bless up, Lee Young. Bless up. Jam PL fan. Bless up yourself, you know. Respect that. We say ice cold beer. One of them, yeah. Yeah, man. 3 times we get to see the celebration today. Chris Smith up, you know. Bless up, Chris. Respect for being here, bro. Let's all go through some players and talk about the Reggae Boyz, how them are going. You know, have a little discussion, interact with the people them. Definitely go through some EPL as well. Chris Smith, you have an EPL side? Best as documentary. Bless up, you know, bro. Yeah, man. So as the people them are rolling, we'll get cracking on the players them around the world. So first things first, let me pull up this. I'll look on the Union and look at our boys Andre Blake and Damian Lowe. So let's get this cracking on the screen here. Alright, so alright, cool. I don't want this to be now. And now we'll do it this way. Alright, yeah, that's good. Alright, so Philadelphia people. So let's go down to the matches. Yeah, they only had one game since they had one during the window, obviously. Blake and Lowe wouldn't have been there, but on the 30th they played Minnesota. So let's check that one, people, and see how they fared. Don't believe D-Lo got any game time, but Andre Blake did start. Came off injured in the 74th minute. But in that 74 minutes, he had 4 saves, 3 from inside the box, 1 high claim, 26 touches, 10 for 13 on his passing for 77%. That's good. 2 for 5, so only 5 long balls. That's good there for Blake. 1 clearance, 1 is only aerial duel, and was fouled once. And he did have to come off in the 74th minute due to concussion protocol, people. So not anything crazy as far as injury for him. Their next game this weekend, I did read the pre-match, and their head coach said that as long as he gets through all the concussion protocol, he should be good to go for the weekend. So that's good news, people. Andre Blake with nothing too serious going on there. Let's check the bench now. So Damian Lowe did not get to play, did not enter the field of play in this match. They did play with a back 4. Sometimes when Elliott, Glesnes, and Lowe are all fit, the coach has deployed the 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 system. But for this game, he went with the back 4, which is what they used to play primarily before Lowe got there. So this will be intriguing to watch as the season progresses. Where does Lowe's place, or do we need to start to worry if the coach is going back to the back 4 system? Will that be detrimental to Lowe? I did see as well in a press conference, or maybe a week or two back, they had some injury concerns in midfield, and he was asked about putting Lowe in midfield as well. Similarly to what Jamaica has done, and he didn't shoot it down all the way, but we'll see how that develops, people. Is there a spot for him in midfield if they go with the back 4? That could help him if he's gonna play the back 4 for Jamaica. We definitely would want him to get more reps with his club in that area of the pitch. But I don't know, people. Let's see. I think he'll probably be on the defense line in this system. But we're gonna have to see how that plays out with Elliott, Glesnes, and himself. Does he solidify one of the first 2 spots in there, or does this mean that we'll be seeing less of him if they're gonna play this system? Will they have to go back to the back 3 for Lowe to be starting all the games? That's something to watch, people. So if you look at their games so far this season, which I can go back and show you, they have pretty much played. Let's check the system in the game when they were on break. So in this first one, or in the game when they were on international break, as you can see here, people, they did play the 4-3-1-2 as well. And let's check prior to that. Let's see when they played Austin on the 16th. When they played Austin on the 16th, again, they went with the 4-3-1-2, but this time Lowe did start, and Glesnes was on the bench. So, sometimes that international break for some can hurt, because, Lowe, even in the back 4, was starting, goes and plays games with Jamaica, comes back, and the coach likes what he's seeing with the pairing and keeps them in for the next game. So as I said, people, this one is going to be an interesting one to watch as we move forward, because what does this mean for Lowe's game time? Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much and he can solidify himself in that back 2. Elliott seems to be the one that's there if he's fit all the time. So it's going to be between Lowe and Glesnes to kind of battle it out to see who gets that other slot. Okay, so you're a Gooner like myself. Wonderful. I love what Pep is doing at City. Yeah, man. Pep at City is not normal. People like to knock him for the, say he needs all the money in the world. But a lot of teams have money. We're seeing a lot of billion-pound terrible teams. We saw 2 of them today. Cannot defend for anything. No defensive transition at all. But we'll get to that later. On Lowe in defense. Well, Chris Simt, I think that's his best position on the field. I don't believe that he's gonna get the best out of him in midfield. So I think he's better on the defense line. I think over the years he's gotten better in terms of his decision making in tackling. I think he, at times doesn't go as hard into the challenges as he used to one time in his career, but still has that in his game. And I think that the way football has been going the last 5 to 10 years, it hasn't really helped his style of defending because he was never the most technical defender in terms of passing out of the back. But he for what he lacks in those aspects, he definitely makes up for in just determination and effort. But that can only take you so far. So in certain systems, I don't believe he can really help the team. But if you're in a team where maybe the priority is not building out of the back, he can still play for a team like that. But you are going to sacrifice some of that if you do play someone like Damian Lowe on your back line. I don't think he's the most proficient decision maker when pressured on the ball. So, yeah. That's what I say about him in defense, Chris. When Lowe went there, he was on the bench. Yeah, I know when he first got there, he had to work his way in. And eventually, he had good enough performances to where the coach basically changed the system to get him in. Lowe good. TFC would sign him quick with Herdman there, and they need defenders. That's true, Phil B. I think most managers who have played in CONCACAF rate him highly. And he's highly rated by most coaches in CONCACAF as well. If they go back to a 4, Lowe will be on the bench. Yeah, Chris, that's my worry. That's my worry that, even if he's not on the bench all the time, he'll go from a starter most of the time to a rotational type of starter. So the minutes won't be as much. Point. Let's utilize him against speed. Okay. So it's a system where it's a matchup thing. Okay, that could make sense because that is true. I think Glesnes and Elliott are more similar in terms of their speed. I think they both have a lack of speed. And I think, that makes sense when you look at the fullbacks that I see on this screen here. Harriel and Wagner are both very speedy players. Wagner a little more attacking than Harriel, so more than likely when they're attacking, it kind of becomes a back three with Harriel one side and Lowe one side, So, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense about the it could be a game situational thing, matchups. Would I start him on our backline? No, I think right now, Lowe for me is 5th choice centre back on my pecking order. I have Pinnock, Hector, Lowe. Pinnock, Hector, Latibodere, Bernard, Lowe. So that would be my 5 centre backs right now. Bless up float. Hector is way better than him. Yeah, I think he's better. For sure. Bernard, Joel, Pinnock better. Yep. I have him 5th on mine. Is Lowe a top 10 CB in MLS? Chris Simt, I wouldn't say so. There's a lot of teams in MLS, like 30 teams, 60 center backs. No, I don't think Lowe is in the top 10. Not for me. You go on every platform, you do the berate none of the local bond players. That's why I'm in this one Jamaica kiss my teeth. Only believe in England born players. Yes, people. Well, the chat wouldn't be alive if Travis and Chris didn't have a, conversation with each other. Standard procedure, people. That's true, Phil B. I think with the MLS defenders, you're gonna find you're gonna have to put on your scouting hat because most of the defenders of promise are probably really young. So they might not be the finished article, but you're gonna have to kind of do a projection type outlook on them, on most of them. All right, people. So that is the 2 Philadelphia Union boys. So Damian Lowe, key for him. Let's watch out for what's to come for him in the future if they stick with this back 4 system in terms of playing time and starting. And Andre Blake, let's check out and see if he makes it through the concussion protocol. But good news that he is not having any major issues with injuries. So Jamali Wade, people, our backup goalkeeper, plays for Locomotive in the USL Championship, El Paso. Since the window, they have actually not played. He doesn't play until this weekend. But for the season so far, he does have 3 starts. And he has a game coming up this Saturday. So we'll check out on the next go around, how he is doing, people. Shaquan Davis, the third string goalkeeper, obviously not on sofa score as far as Mount Pleasant is concerned, but since the window, I did note that he has not started a game. The young man Chambers, his deputy, has been playing. So interested if JFFL fan is in the building. Can you let me know, is everything okay with Shaquan Davis? Has this just been, him having his traveling to the US and everything? Has that kind of like giving him a rest? But I was surprised to see him not play. I know this is the last weekend of the regular season, so I would think he'd be back in goal. So I'll be watching out to see if he's back in goal for this one. All right, Travis, I know you might know as well, so let me know. Pinnock is better than knowing Jamaica team, like it or not. Well, Travis, that's always going to be an opinion thing. I think sometimes you get very upset when people are discussing the different players and everything, but everybody going to have them opinion, Travis. As I said, in my pecking order, I would have him fifth as far as centre backs are concerned. But if somebody else has him second or third or fourth, that's on them. At the end of the day, as you always say, it's not really up to us, it's up to the coach. But you can't beat the people for them opinion. Big up yourself, Bull. Good win for Liverpool today. We're going to talk about it later for sure. Do you think Kaheim Dixon could be effective in MLS or better off in Europe? Well, that's a good question, Phil B. I don't have it in the title, but he was in the thumbnail because I was going to discuss, all the talking about him and going to ask the people in the section and just give my take on what I think is the best move for him going forward. So yeah, we will revisit this, Phil B, when I get to Kaheim Dixon and my list of players here. Yeah, man, Travis, bless up. Not top 10, his position is below the others. Yeah, JFFL, I think it would be a stretch to get him in the top 10 in CBs. Because as I say, it's like 30 teams in MLS. That's two starters per team. That's at least 60 you'd have to go through and kind of, check off the list. And I don't think Lowe would beat out 10 of them. I mean, so many of them to get into the top 10. Fresh, better off in Europe. Yeah, Fresh, I think there's arguments to both, but again, I'll give my take on that in just a minute when we get down to him in the list. Fresh, got you think just because USL are just over. Oh, okay. He's finally the rest of the playoffs. Okay, cool. Respect for that JFFL, because I did notice that he hadn't started since the Cavalier game. And I figured the other ones were because he would have probably been preparing to leave for the window. And he had that, obviously they played games during the window as well. So but I was kind of wondering how come he didn't start this past weekend, because I know he would have been back, and most of the other players like the Kings of the world and Dixons of the world were back. So yeah, I was kind of surprised by that. But I guess it's probably smart on their part to give the deputy some chance, because you never know in the playoffs what might happen, man. You don't want the keeper to be cool. So in the long run, that could be a good move for Mount Pleasant. Yeah, man, we know, man. We know say you're glad about that, man. Take country out. It is a low second base. Oh, where's a Phil B? That second best have more to do with where the player was born. That's what you think, Phil B? I don't know. Maybe Travis honestly believe that Lowe is the second best. I just feel that way. As I say, everybody have them opinion. So the next player up on the list, people, one of the players that was on the team of the tournament in the Nations League finals, or the team of that section, right? Mikel Hector, people. So Hector got back to his club and featured in both games, because League One and Championship had that Easter weekend where they had 2 games. So he had the first one on the 29th. And let's see how he fared in this one. As you can see, played a similar system to Jamaica with the back line and was in the middle as well, so felt right at home. He played 90 minutes, had 8 clearances, 3 interceptions, 3 tackles, 3 out of 4 on the ground duels, 2 out of 3 on the aerials. Did lose possession 27 times, had the ball 97 times, 97 touches of the ball. It's a lot of possession loss from a central defender, though, if you ask me. And part of that reason there, as you can see, 22 long passes attempted, don't worry me. Long passes, 22 attempted, 5 completed, but he did have 2 key passes and didn't have any shots or anything. But solid 7.1 performance. Could have been a lot higher as well, but that passing accuracy being at 68%, 55 of 81 definitely dragged that down a bit. But the clearances, interceptions, tackles, very, very good. And also very, very good no times dribble pass. So 7.1, much of the same for Hector, continuing on from his international window. And let's check the second game they had in the window. It was a 0-0 draw, people. So he had 2 draws. Only conceded 1 goal in 2 games. And let's see how he did in this one. Where's the game? There we go. Let's see the lineup. So they had this similar system, a 3-4-1-2 this time. Same place on the pitch for Hector. So Hector had a 7.4 in this one, a little bit better than the first game. 90 minutes played, 7 clearances, 3 interceptions, 3 tackles again. So just 1 less clearance. He was 5 of 6 on his ground duels, 3 of 5 on his aerials. He had 67 touches of the ball, 18 possession loss. So still a bit high for me from a central defender. Let's check how many long passes attempted. 16 this time. Did complete 6 of them though. And he was 30 of 48 for 63%. So again, could have been a higher rating on the day. The passing is what's bringing him down. Perhaps his team is just not having the courage to build out because the long passes attempted are a bit high as well for me. But Hector on the defensive end, solid performance. No dribble passed again as well. So Mikel Hector seemed to take his Reggae Boyz form back with him to club. So that's very, very good. Two straight starts, which is good because before the break, as you know, we were worried about his legs due to the fact that he hadn't been starting. So good that he was able to get his legs back with Jamaica, go back to club, and do very, very well there. So long may that continue for Mikel Hector. Really, really proud of what the player has been able to do at this stage of his career. As you can see here, people, 31 years old, will turn 32 this summer. So, that's what, 2024. So by 2026 World Cup, he'll be right about 34 years old. But look, if he can continue this, keep playing week in, week out at this level, he has proven to be an asset to us. So, long may this continue, people. Let's see here. Yeah, man, Ferran, bless up, bro. Bless up. Respect for being here. Like the video, Travis giving his order. Pinnock, Lowe, Hector, Latti, Bernard in that order. All right. I think I have Pinnock first. I have Hector second. I think I have Latti Bodier third, Bernard fourth, and Lowe fifth. I think that's my order right now. Yeah, Hector is 31. I put it up for you, Jampiel. Yeah, man. In England is good. Look at KP. He was rubbish for Jamaica. I think Palmer, I think rubbish is a bit harsh. He wasn't terrible. I do think that there were deficiencies in his game, and I do think that maybe where we put him on the pitch is kind of holding him back from what he could really do. But in the system we play, I don't think that his position isn't in the team. I think his best position in the way we played at the Nations League would be to play where Gray played, or where Cephas played in the first half of the first game, and where Lowe played in the second half of the first game on that left side. But I don't believe that he's going to play there when everybody's available, unless it's off the bench. Because I think Damari Gray pretty much has that left side so down. Evans hold for Manu, for real. Chris Sim now hold back. He's the worst. Bless up, Nitro. Bless up. And Nitro said Lowe is good. All right, so Hector. Well done to Hector. Doing very well there. So let's check next on one of our other central defenders, Mr. Deshaun Bernard. So Deshaun Bernard, people, really had some bad luck since he's been back from the window. As you can see, last game listed Jamaica versus Panama. So what happened with Deshaun, people? He was getting ready to play his next game for Sheffield Wednesday. And that game was slated to be against Swansea City, against Jamal Lowe, which would have been on the 29th. And since they were playing them, we'll just pull that up on screen. So yeah, he was scheduled to play in this game, people. And in the warm-up pre-game, ended up feeling something in his muscle. And for precautionary reasons was pulled out. So this player, Diaby, actually took his place. He was going to start for the game. Ended up missing this game and also the follow-up game on the weekend due to injury. And at press time, since I'm making this video, the last checks I saw was he's going to be pretty much touch and go, because in the last fixture they had after the Swansea game, he was on the bus headed out to the Riverside to play Middlesbrough, and the fans were excited, saying, boy, he might be back in time. It was explained afterwards that he was only there because all the team's physios were traveling with the team, and he was just there to get his treatment. So, he's dealing with a muscle injury. It's not terrible right now, but they're afraid that if they push it, it could be something that could put him down for the rest of the season. So they're going to monitor him and deal with it with kid gloves right now. So, hopefully they can monitor that. Deshaun Bernard really having a great season, one that I think is putting him back to the levels that maybe he was touted to be a few years back. And I think another season like this, it's a player that I do see being able to get back to the Premier League levels in the near future if he continues on this trajectory. So, speedy recovery to Deshaun. Hopefully Sheffield Wednesday continues to do what they're doing, which is monitor him and not take chances, because he is a player that has struggled with injuries in the past, and the last thing he needs right now in his career development is to have another long stretch on the sideline. So kudos to Sheffield Wednesday for playing it safe with the baller. While I have it on screen, let's just go ahead and check for Swansea as well. We had Jamal Lowe coming off the bench and getting a goal in this one to find the equalizer in the 76th minute. He came on at halftime, played 45 minutes, had a goal. One shot on target, 1 for 3 on his dribbles. He was 28 touches, lost the ball 15 times, so that's not very good, more than half the time losing the ball. 4 for 12 on his passes for 33%, not very good either. 1 for 3 on his crosses, 0 for 5 on his long passes. He was 3 for 6 on his ground duels, didn't win any aerials, tried 2. Had 1 clearance, 1 interception, and 2 tackles. So did put in some work defensively as well. Looked like he came on and was deployed on the left-hand side for the most part, but did have the equalizer in this one. So shout out to Jamal Lowe. Really quickly, since we're on him, let's just look at his games as well, because I know they played another game. Yes, they played QPR. So let's see if Jamal featured in this one. I believe he started. Yes, he did start. I checked this one before. So let's see. Did play on the left-hand side, as you can see there. Played 67 minutes. Had 27 touches of the ball. Lost it 14 times. So again, losing it a bit much more than I would want. 11 for 17 accurate passes for 65%. 1 for 4 on his crosses. He did have 2 key passes on the day and did create 1 big chance. He was 0 for 1 on his dribbles. 1 for 7 on his ground duels. Not the best. 0 for 1 on his aerials. He had 2 fouls and was fouled once, and he was dribbled past once with no tackles or interceptions. So a 6.7 for Jamal and a 7.0, so not bad. 1 bench appearance and 1 start and a goal in the 2 games back from the window. So Jamal Lowe getting back to full fitness. Probably more than likely we'll see him getting starts most of the rest of this season if he is fully fit, as he has looked to nail down either that striker spot or that left side spot in the system that they play. So Jamal Lowe did well there. So let's go back to Coventry real quick, because I got sidetracked. Let's go to Coventry and let's check out Joel Latibodere and Kasey Palmer and how they have done in their 2 games back. So, as I said, people, championship was rearing after the window. 2 games for most of these teams in short space of time. So their first was on the 29th. And as you can see here in the lineups, they did play a 4-2-3-1. Joel Latibodere got the start at right back, and Kasey Palmer was in his preferred number 10 position. So for Joel Latibodere, he had a 7.1. This was a 3-1 victory to Coventry. So he played 90 minutes plus injury time, had 3 clearances and 3 tackles, no dribble pass. That's very good. 4 for 4 on his ground duels, also very good. He was 0 for 1 on aerials, had 56 touches of the ball, only lost it 5 times, really good. 32 for 35 for 91%, so good there. Had 2 key passes as well. 1 for 1 on his crosses, 1 for 2 on his long passes, didn't attempt a shot. So solid performance from Joel Latiba there, playing right back in a back 4, again showing his versatility. And Kasey Palmer had a 6.9 on the day, 63 minutes. As you can see, kind of stayed in that central attacking midfield space, but does like to drift off to the left a bit, which is why when I reference where I think would be his best position, would probably be on the left side in our system. As you can see, that's where he likes to get the ball and does the most of his damage. 63 minutes played, 43 touches, lost the ball 12 times, was 25 for 30 on his passes, 83%, really good, with 3 key passes, which is what you want a number 10 to be doing. He was 0 for 1 on his long passes, had 1 shot off target. He was 1 for 3 on his dribbles. He was 3 for 10 on his ground duels, so still putting in some challenges with 10 ground duels, but would like to see him win a few more of those. Did commit 3 fouls and was fouled twice, had 1 clearance and was dribbled past 1 time. So a 6.9 for Kasey Palmer. So let's go back to Coventry's matches and check what they did on their match on April the 1st. It was a very tough loss for them, a 2-1 loss to Coventry. Actually watched the bulk of this game. It was 2 own goals by their central defender Kitching, and of course the man on fire Ellis Sims got the goal for them. But let's look at the lineup for this one. They had a same system, basically 4-2-3-1. Palmer and Latiba there keeping their place. Latiba there at right back, Palmer at the cam role. This time Latiba there didn't quite make the entire game. So let's see how his stats looked on the day. So Joel had 68 minutes played, 1 clearance, 1 interception, 1 tackle. He had 60 touches of the ball and lost it 9 times. He was 1 of 2 on his ground duels, 4 of 5 on his aerials. So that's good for Joel to win the aerials. He was 38 of 43 on passing. That's 88%. So that's good. Had 1 key pass out of that as well. 0 for 1 on his crosses, 1 for 2 on his long passes attempted, no shots on target or anything like that. So a solid game for Joel, 6.7. Maybe just not as active to get a higher score than that in the game. Didn't really commit much defending. Maybe wanted to see more tackles or interceptions in the match to get a higher score. But still solid, 6.7. And Kasey Palmer got a 7.2. He played 75 minutes. As you can see from the heat map, was a lot more lively in terms of his movement than the last performance. Popped up on the right, in the middle, also on the left a bit as well. 75 minutes played, as I said before, 66 touches, losing the ball 18 times, not too bad. 37 for 46 for 80%, which is good. 1 key pass, 1 shot on target and 2 off target. He was 1 for 2 on his dribbles. He was 3 for 8 on his ground duels and 1 of 2 on his aerial duels. Committed 2 fouls, was fouled once. And on the defensive end, put in a decent shift. 1 clearance, 2 interceptions, 1 tackle, and only 1 time dribble passed on the day. So 2 decent performances from both of our Reggae Boys in their 2 matches for Coventry. Actually, I want to check one more thing for Coventry because, as I said, these 2 results were very costly for them because they are just hovering outside that promotion slot under Norwich, 4 points off them now with a game in hand, though. So definitely they would want to get into that top 6 to have a chance to make it to the Premier League next season. So Coventry City really need to get some results here coming up. Let's go back to the chat and see what I've missed. All right, let's see. Hector's age, okay. English games. Yes, I know that's probably in reference to Palmer being rubbish. And yeah, man, we know that I do think the player has a skill set that can survive in CONCACAF if we put him in the right spots on the pitch. I just don't believe box-to-box role suits him. So he's gonna have deficiencies playing there. Next season being USL. Dockland Stenet, check. Bless up, bro. Bless up. Respect for being here, man. Like the video and contribute to the conversation. I know you have a lot to say. Very opinionated fan. Chris Smith Lowe will be in the English Championship. Which Lowe? Jamal? So the man just argue. All right. Yeah, man, Martin. Make them know if you like up the video, man. And we soon reach where we want to reach, man. Greatness takes time, you know? Chris Swim say him can't find no evidence. What pre? What go on? Los Blancos. Yeah, man. So Damian Lowe, as usual, causing arguments, you know? Why we not seeing that Kasey Palmer for Jamaica? He asked Bobby what he did to improve for Jamaica. Well, I think Bobby is a little more equipped to be playing all over the field. I think you can put Bobby pretty much anywhere on the field besides goalkeeper and centre back, and I think he'll do a job. I think Kasey's a bit more specialized in what he does well. I think, if you look at Jamaica's systems, very rarely do we have a true center attacking midfielder in the system. In the 4-4-2, we have two box-to-box midfielders with two strikers most of the time. Even when that striker kind of drops and becomes a supporting striker, it's never really all the way deep into a central attacking midfield position. So I think that's one of the reasons why we don't see the best for him. I don't think our system has a position that really puts him where Coventry puts him on the pitch. And I think in our system, he'd be most effective where Demarai Gray plays, kind of on that left wing forward role, slash left midfielder role. Yeah, I think that's where he would maybe get the best out of him. I don't think him driving in midfield is what we're going to get the best out of. And I think where he's playing for Jamaica requires him to do that a lot. And I don't think that's the best of his skills. Yeah, man. Always. Keep the place lively though, man. It's good. It's good banter and good chat. As long as them keep it respectful, man, not a problem with it, you know? All right, people. So that's the Coventry boys, Palmer and Latti. Well, keep an eye out for them. Hope them can get into that playoff. All right. So next on the list, we did Bernard, we did them, Coventry boys. All right. So next on my list here, let's go ahead and check our boy in League One, Mr. Greg Lee. And the first thing I want to check actually is Oxford United also hovering very close to the playoffs to get to the championship, people. So we need to keep an eye out on Oxford and how they do in the upcoming weeks. But let's just check how Greg did himself. First game back on the 29th was an unused substitute against Shrewsbury. They drew 1-1. And then the second game against Fleetwood, he did make an appearance from the bench in the 82nd minute. And in this game here, one thing that stood out to me when I was checking the stats earlier, see if I can find Greg. Yep, 82nd minute. Came on and played a left midfielder role. Came on for Josh Murphy over here on the left side. Brother of Jacob, actually. I believe that's the same one. Yeah, that's him, twin brother at Newcastle. Anyway, Greg Lee came on for him, played left midfield, 8 minutes played, and what stood out to me, people, he did nothing but pass the ball, had 7 touches and 7 accurate passes. So 100%. So Greg Lee, very safe on the ball, came in, was a 4-0 win for them. Basically just came in to see out the game. They did score a goal like right after he came on though, so that was good. So Greg Lee, 1 appearance out of 2, looking to see if he can get back into the starting lineup. The coach, before the international break, had used him a little more sparingly. But I know in this game when he had the goal, it was another substitute appearance, I believe. No, it was not. In this game right here, Greg Lee actually played left back. So yeah, he's been fluctuating between the left back role and that left midfield or right midfield role. Played left back in this one as well. See the one before that. Greg Lee played left back there. Left back there. So he had a nice little stretch of playing left back, people. But see again here playing that left midfield role. So he's been fluctuating between left back, left midfield, or right midfield. So that's good that he's getting that versatility still in his game. I think that helps if the coach goes back 4 or back 3 with the wing backs. You know, Greg Lee can occupy both positions pretty comfortably. So that's good that we're having players on the back line getting the reps in different spots. Always good for the national team. So let's check Big Dexter, the other team of the Nation League's finals player that we have. And they played Kilmarnock, 1-1 draw. Dexter got the start at right back in a 4-2-3-1. And let's look at how he fared on the day. He had 80 minutes played, got a 6.6 rating, 73 touches of the ball, and lost it 23 times. So a bit much. 23, a bit high. I'd like to see him keep that in the teens with those touches. Let's see how he did on the defensive end. 1 interception, 1 tackle. Was dribbled past twice, though. Not the best there. 1 of 5 on his ground duels, 1 of 3 on his aerials. I'm sure he wishes he did a little better there. 26 for 41 of 63%. So a little low on the passing accuracy. 1 key pass. 1 out of 1 on his crosses. That's good. 6 out of 15 on his long passes attempted, and he was unsuccessful on his 2 dribble attempts. So Dexter, fair performance, a bit average as far as he probably would say. 6.6 for him. Definitely got up and down that flank, though, as you can see there on the heat map. Definitely got into some good attacking areas as well. But, you know, for him, I think his next step is just that passing accuracy, just to be a little more sure on his passing. I think he's somebody that you can always rely on as far as motor. I think his stamina has improved greatly over the past year, getting more reps, playing more games at the highest professional level. So I think Dexter Lembikisa really onward and upward for him. He'll be in action again this weekend. So interested to see. Since he's been at Hearts, he's kind of played a few different spots on the pitch. You know, if you look here before the window, this game against Ross County, let's see. Yeah, I think in this one he was a sub. Yeah, so he came on for Atkinson, who was playing the right wing back role. So kind of got a preview for his Jamaica role right before the window. And then Scottish Cup, they don't have, I think they might have the lineup, but no stats. Yeah, so they'll still have it there. Dexter started at right back in that one against Celtic when they had that big win. Dexter Lembikisa played the right wing back role. So, you know, he's been fluctuating between right wing back and right back in the back 4. Again, good versatility, and like the fact that he's getting to play multiple systems at club level. Let's see here. Let's check back in with the chat real quick. See if anybody not worrying everybody. Still somewhere. Duckland said when Bobby first came, he was horrible, you know. That's because he was playing too timid. I don't know what he did, but he found a way to fix that. Duckland, I think the horrible part was overblown a bit, especially when he had that miss in the World Cup qualifying against US. I think that just made Bobby public enemy number 1 for a few months. I will say that, you know, we expected more from him in his original performances. But look, some people just take a little more time to bed into the team. Not everyone can hit the ground running like Damari did. So, you know, I think it's partially getting more comfortable with his surroundings, and I think partially just gaining more confidence the more he plays. But I think with Kasey, it's partly bedding in with everyone else and partly getting used to the surroundings. But I think mainly with Kasey, it's the position we're putting him in. I don't think his ceiling is as high as it could be if he wasn't playing where he's going to play for us or where he's been playing for us. Bless up in Marlon. Respect, bro. Yeah, man. I know you're kind of busy lately and you just forward back into the YouTube thing, but we start a channel, bro. So you don't know whenever we're having panels and things like that, you're definitely somebody that I would have on the panel as well, because I definitely know that you're somebody that put in the work as far as following the players and knowing what's going on. So yeah, man, respect every time, Marlon, and like the channel, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, bro, so you can know when we're live and thing. Yeah, man. Chris and Travis arguing, so them can go and argue, you know. Nitro said Greg Lee should be in the championship, although the left back at Ipswich is so good, they're calling for Southgate to call him. Yeah, Leif Davis at Ipswich is probably one of the more promising left backs. So yeah, he's definitely somebody that I'm sure a lot of Premier League teams are keeping an eye on, and Ipswich will want to keep if they in fact get to the Premier League. All we know is that KP is way better than Walker, Peter Lee, and Maggie, and that hurts the fans of schoolboy football. Shots fired by Up and Running there. Most of Dexter ball he lost was playing it forward. Yeah, Marlon, I agree there. He does like to take chances in his possession sometimes in terms of passing forward. But I think again that goes down to sometimes decision making. I think he doesn't have to play those passes at times when he does. I think that contributes to sometimes his passing accuracy being a little lower. But I only got a chance to see highlights of this game, so I couldn't say that I saw all the missed passes. So yeah, if the majority of them were playing forward, then I totally understand that, Marlon, as well. Oh yeah, these guys just arguing. Yeah, man, just arguing. Bless up, Africans. Oh, go on. I go into the SheBelieves Cup this weekend in the Africans. Go and see the USA, Japan, and the Canada, Brazil game. So we'll turn on my camera a few times and show the people what I go on and thing, Yeah, man, should be nice. Fun, family fun day, taking the whole family and going to take in some football and go to that nice Mercedes-Benz Stadium, one of the best in the world, people. Atlanta, Georgia, Fresh them. Still a fight, bro. Respect, Marlon. Respect. Yeah, man, we're out there. Somebody else in the space talk football, Marlon, that is very, very true, because the first couple of games him played in him was basically when they played at 4-2-3-1, the coach was playing him left or right in the tree behind the striker. So he was getting some real attacking chances, and then even in the system with the back three, him play right wing back most of the time. So, and even in the four, because his Hearts and they're a team that have the ball a lot in that league, him get a lot of attacking opportunities. So I agree. I think this season was perfect. When you look at a blueprint for development of a fullback, half the season at Rotherham, struggling in the championship, defending a lot. He got a crash course in defending. And now at Hearts, more of the ball in Scotland, a little more open league, a little more space, and a better team in the league. He's getting to exercise the attacking chops now. So yeah, when you look at the blueprint for a loan move for a season, Lembikisa did it perfectly. Wolves did a great job with him this season with that. Yeah, I think the final is what, like during the week, right? Yeah, in another state. I think they have to travel. But yeah, man, I'll be there for I think the first game is the US Japan, and then the next game is Brazil Canada. So the ticket is for the whole time. So yeah, we'll watch both games. Yeah, man. Can't wait for that, man. Four good women's teams, and of course, obviously I would go regardless because I just love football anyway. But my daughter is very, very excited because she's never really seen that level live. We've gone to an MLS game before with Atlanta United, but she's never seen the women play live, so she's really excited to see that. And she happens to know a lot of the players as well, so that's exciting for her. Yeah, man, Up and Running. Me know, man. Yeah, well, that's memories. Well, actually, that wasn't the Benz yet, you know. The Benz wasn't what me yet then. That was the old Georgia Dome. 'Cause the Benz never whooped me yet. Yeah, man, it wasn't the Benz yet, man. That was the old Georgia Dome. 'Cause the first time I went to the Benz was to see Atlanta United play. When I think it was the first season it was open. Yeah, we went to a game then and went to another game, I think 2 seasons ago. So I haven't been in about 2 seasons actually. Yeah, there's like a group of 8 teams, Africans, in the women's game that are gonna play like all the time. You know, Canada, US, Japan, Brazil, France maybe not in that mix. Them stay more to the European teams. But yeah, definitely England in that mix as well. Yeah, they kind of just rotate and play each other. You know, JPL fan, I don't live in Atlanta anymore. I live outside Atlanta in another city. So I'm not in Atlanta as much. But when I was living in Atlanta, I went to a lot more United games. But yeah, I haven't lived in Atlanta for the last 7 years now. I'm outside Atlanta, so I'm not really there as much to be going to the games all the time. But we met a little hour drive and go to Atlanta for the weekend for see that game this Saturday or the 2 game them. Never ends, you know. Yeah, these are actually gonna be the best seats that I've gotten there because I'm in section 120 something. I want to say, like right by one of the corner flag them. So it's gonna be. I should be able to like see everything, especially all the action right there by the corner. Yo, trust me, Jason, that stadium is wicked. I've been to a few in the States over the years, and best one I've been to in person for sure. I mean, just the screen alone, the replay screen, mad. It's literally the screen. There's a big screen, and then around the entire stadium is like another big screen, basically like that. Like one of the levels is just a screen going all the way around. It's ridiculous. And in terms of like what you have in the stadium, like underneath all the concessions and the different areas, they did an excellent job. Like I'm sure I'll be missing some of the game because my kids want to go do stuff, and you know, so it got though, you know. Daddy day. Maybe I'm send mommy and them to go do it and just watch the game. But I doubt it. They say you can count on it, Africans. No, it's not the Bushman. It's the second largest city in Georgia. Trivia for everyone that know anything about Georgia. Tell me the second largest city in Georgia. Yeah, it's up there. I would say Atlanta is probably top 5 atmospheres in the MLS. Definitely would have to say LAFC have a mad atmosphere. Seattle Sounders, mad atmosphere. Atlanta United, they're relatively new, but their atmosphere is mad. Nashville, 4. There's another club I'm forgetting. Inter Miami is not bad as well. Even before Messi was there, they had a good atmosphere, to be honest. But I don't know if it's top. But since Messi, it's probably up there. But I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody else that have a really good one. Philly is not bad, but I wouldn't say they're up there with the craziest. Yeah, I think those are the ones too. Yeah, you got a goal the other day, Marlon. I saw that. This Saturday, man, SheBelieves Cup, a competition that they have I don't know if it's every year, but this year it's Canada, Brazil, USA, and Japan. Then play semifinals Saturday the 6th, and then play the finals during the week in another state. But I'm going to the games on Saturday. think it's like 12:30 and 4 o'clock, or 12:30 and 3:30 or something like that. Yeah, man, Chris. Brilliant work from Wolves. Whoever them loan manager is did an excellent job with Dexter. Kudos to him. Young G's. Oh, go on. Yeah, man, that's true, because the new stadium SoFi with the Rams, Stan Kroenke team, them have it too. So it's like basically a staple now. I think I'm pretty sure the new one in Vegas have it as well, where the Raiders play now, where we're going to play in the Copa America. So yeah. So what Google said? So you go Google, but you get the answer. Let me know, no? I'm gonna tell you if Google have sense. Cause me smarter than Google, you know. Blake Bosley and DJ in a local. Man, you argue about things. Yeah, Austin. That's the other one I was trying to remember. Cause me gonna say Houston, but another Texas team. They made that think about the Austin team. Yeah, and that's why a lot of US men's national team games got Austin lately, or Nashville, because the atmosphere is mad. Yeah, man. So Marlon know the thing too, man. At the same thing, at the same team, them did say. Yeah, man, Jean PL fan, you forgot, man. Cause Atlanta United MLS games, them wicked figure, you know. The fans, them are some real, them build a good thing over there. Ah, ding, 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 ding. Jason win the prize. Columbus, Georgia. Hour and 10 minutes from Atlanta Airport, south. Yeah, man, that's where we're there. Family settings, you know. Good schools. Look on it, Jason, man. I tell you. Enough Fortune 500 there, too. If you're a professional person looking for good employment, you know. Don't sleep on the second city. All right, so that's Dexter. So let's go to some of the forward them now. Dimi. See what he's up to over at Al Ettifaq. Having a terrible season under Gerrard. Not doing as well as they would have hoped. So he played one game on the 3rd of April against Al Fateh, one of the better teams in the league. And where did the game go? There we go. People, remember to like the video, share the content, subscribe if you haven't already. So let's look at this game here. So Al Fateh beat Al Ettifaq 1-0. Damari Gray played the full 90 minutes. 6.6 rating, not the best for him. Usually he's always in the 7 somewhere. But let's see how he fared in stats-wise. 90 minutes played. As you can see, spent the majority of it in the attacking left side of the field. Had 34 touches, lost the ball 14 times. Not too bad. He was 1 for 6 on his dribbles today. People normally is a lot more successful dribbling. Had 1 block shot, no shots on target. He had 1 key pass, was 8 for 13 for 62% on his passes, 0 for 2 on his crosses, 6 for 15 ground duels, and 1 for 1 aerials. 2 fouls committed and was fouled 4 times, so that's good getting fouled there. 1 clearance and 1 tackle. So kind of quieter game for Damari there, but as I said, Al Fateh is one of the better teams in the league. As you can tell here by the standings of the Saudi League, Al Hilal pretty much running away with it. I know Ronaldo had a hat-trick this week, but scoring all the goals when he can't catch the leaders doesn't really help them. And Al Fateh and Al Ettifaq pretty much side by side here in the table, 6th and 7th. So Damari looking like as the season progresses, they will not be able to get to those Champions League places for the AFC, barring a miracle of some sort. But more than likely, they will not be there. So they will have to retool in the summer and see if Steven Gerrard still has the job after So we'll check Damari again this weekend and see how he fares. As I said, people, please no more injuries. We just want people to stay fit. Airport like 10 minutes away. Yeah. I lived in Atlanta for a while, Jay, before, and it's a job opportunity to bring me down here. I'm just end up fall in love with the ends and just stay even after when we did actually come here for was finished. So yeah, I like it, bro. I like it. I mean, it's growing. It's getting a little bit more, restaurants and things to do as far as adult life. But as far as the kids and stuff and the family is concerned, plenty for the kids to do here. So I have no issues with it. And of course, Atlanta is not that far. So whenever I want the big city feel, I just, hit 85 and head north, and I'm there in no time. Yeah, man, Nashville fans nuts. Are the one thing them really have in the town, besides college. So yeah, man, I'm gonna love it. Oh, for real, Bessos? Yeah, he's an army man. Cause a beer army people know them places more often than not still. Blessings, Miss Claudia. Respect for being here. Like the video as I know you always do. I think all the rival fans hope so. But I don't think Liverpool club have more sense than that. Brain drain there. I never see him. If him there, I didn't miss him comment. Brain drain, I wait till him can drop super chat, man. No, but brain drain has been here before though and bless up the place. I just not see him tonight. Okay. Well, the female AI them enough to, so find one compatible. See what I did there? Well, you say Nitro, you don't like the move, football wise. But I don't know, Nitro. I mean, the pace of the league overall is not as high, yes. But I feel like if you apply yourself in any professional setting, you can still keep your level. And Dimi seems to be somebody with his head on his shoulders right now as far as that is concerned. So, all I can say is just stay fit, my baller. But yeah, potentially it wasn't the best move for him football-wise, but for me, it's all about playing time, repetition. He's in a league where he's going to play all the time. He's on a team where he's going to play all the time. If he's fit, I'm good with that. Just keep playing, baller. You have it. Nashville, NYC. There's a Nash. Are you saying NYC City have good fans too? So you guys really worried about Gray like that? Well, I don't know, Bless up mindset. We're there about mindset. We in the streets, chop it up, Yeah, man. All right, so Damari Gray. That was Damari Gray. Let's check our boy now, Bobby. The one who Duckland say, no him I don't know. But one time him did too timid. All right, so Bobby actually did have 2 games since the return. Played on the 30th and also on the 2nd. Of course, in this 3-all draw, came off the bench and had a big impact in the little time he got. Came on, I want to say in like the 82nd minute, was it? Yeah, came on in the 85th minute actually. And in this game right here against Sheffield, of course, they were down. I want to say, was it 3-0? No, it was 3-1. It was 3-1. It was 1-0, then 1-all, 3-1 to Sheffield, and then 3-2, and then 3-all. So Bobby Reid, let's check what he did. 7.4 in his 21 minutes of action. Right, that's so much injury time was in this game. Wow. So this game played till 113 minutes. That's crazy. All right. So yeah, he came on in the 85th, but still got 21 minutes, people. 1 goal. 1 shot on target. And I'm very surprised. Why didn't he get the assist for the Muniz goal? Can anybody explain that to me? Is not him cross the ball for the bicycle / volley where Muniz do for the second goal, or for the equalizing goal? Sorry, somebody help me with that, people, because I could have swear says him cross that ball. Anyway, 1 goal. He had 1 shot on target, 11 touches. He was 100% accuracy on his passes, 5 for 5. He had 1 key pass out of that 5. He was, they say, 0 for 2 for crosses, but boy, I want to watch that goal again because I could have swear Bobby Reid crossed that ball. Maybe it was Tete that crossed it, and I'm just mixing them up. 3 possession loss, 1 for 1 on his aerial duels. Didn't have any defensive actions, but Bobby Reid, very, very effective in his cameo. Had that brilliant goal from outside the box. I would say about 25 yards or so, right into the bottom corner of the net. Brilliant strike. Bobby Reid again, typically either scores, screaming goals or has some nice little 6-yard box tapping headers or something like that. So you never really know, but if it's outside the box, it's usually a screamer from Bobby. So Bobby, in the first game back, had a goal off the bench, and then let's go ahead and check how he fared in the other game they played. That was a 3-1 loss to Forest in that one. I think this one was the Morgan Gibbs White. Had a big performance in this one, people. Someone that Reggae Boyz fans always speak about, but one that I think will be representing the Three Lions one day. Sad to say, that's my gut feeling on that one. But in this game as well, the cameo was not enough to get him in the starting lineup, but he did come on the field earlier in the 71st minute. 19 minutes played, was on the right-hand side in the system for them in this one. Came on for Andres Pereira, but did play on that right-hand side for the most part. 90 minutes played, as I said. 1 shot off target, 9 touches, 3 for 5 on passes for 60%. Did lose the ball 4 times. Was 0 for 1 on his crosses, 0 for 1 on ground duels. Did not have any defensive action. So quiet one for Bobby there. Only had 9 touches in his time on the pitch for a 6.6 rating. As you can see here, the coach has been going with Wilson and Iwobi typically. And if one of them don't play, Willian has been next up. So Bobby kind of struggling right now to get into the team's starting lineup, but pretty much always going to be used by the coach in every game, because no matter the situation, he can do a job. If it's you want to see out the game, he can play more defensive. If you need a spark, he can provide that spark as well in the attack. So Bobby Reid, Swiss Army knife, one of my favorite players, one of the highest IQs in the team, continuing to do well for Fulham, even in the spot duties at times. So let me go back. Yeah, man. Me that attend little time at the school as well, man. As most of us, I'm sure, have. I think Gray is focused and playing time is there and financially it's good. Yeah, I think right now, if you look at it professionally, he's probably at peace because he knows his bag is secure. He's playing. And, by all accounts, he's enjoying living where he's living. I see him, exploring the culture. I see him in the traditional outfits and stuff on his Instagram. So, look, when you're a professional, you want to be learning cultures, learning new things, and he's doing that. And from what I see, he's focused on the right things. I'm sure maybe the demands aren't as high as if he was in Europe, but as I said before, he's playing consistently, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, it looks like that's where he's kind of slotted into at Fulham lately. The impact sub type of player. I would love for him to be able to get more starts, but I think you're right. I mean, sometimes it seems like his impact is greater when he comes off the bench, especially lately. But, Bobby quietly going right along on his season, man. If you look at his stats, let me just kind of want to see how he's doing for the season right now. So in the Premier League, he has 27 played, 14 starts, 45 minutes per game. Currently has 6 goals and 2 assists. So 8 goal contributions in 27. Yeah, going right along. I'm sure we'd love to see that get into double digits as far as goals and assists before the season is over. Let's see if he had any goals in the cup. He played 6 times in the EPL Cup with no goals, and he had 2 assists. So that's 10 contributions. And did he play in the FA Cup? Had 1 game with no goals, no assists. Okay, so what's that? 7, 27, so 34 games, 10 goal contributions in all competitions. So not too bad for Bobby Reid. As you see on his Premier League heat map, player that plays all over. Most of his highlights are on the right-hand side, but plays left and central, all the way back to his defense line as well. So, yeah, man, Bobby Reid is the type of player that is going to put in shifts for you no matter what. Okay, respect Ferran, because for some reason I thought Bobby crossed that ball, but I know them would have get it still. Good form, he's good right now, but he's good over there. Yeah, man. I followed Dwight McNeil, and I saw Dwight McNeil post about their last result and thing, and I think shout out to Reggae Boyz Central. He might have commented something with Jamaica flags in it, and Demari Gray replied to that comment and said, "I agree with a bunch of Jamaica flags." So yeah, man, he has Jamaica on his mind at all times currently, man. He's definitely all in as far as this team is concerned. You can see that he's very, very happy to be a part of what we're building right now. Yeah, man, extremely important, man. One of the most important, honestly, for being honest with ourselves. One done Sherman out of Clarendon. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. With their boat. One done, one done, one done. Who that? Big League? Big League Romano? Bless up in a big league. We're out in the streets, bro. All right, so that's Bobby Reid, people. Bobby Reid. Let's check on the striker in the Panama game, Mr. Boza. Shamar Nicholson. So Shamar had 1 game since Nations League on the 31st against Toulouse. And his team was bound to lose because they got 3-1 on the day, or 3-0 on the day, excuse me. Shamar did not start the game. Rare for him. Usually he's a starter, but didn't start this one. Came on in the 71st minute. Sorry, the 61st minute. Played 29 minutes. No shots. He was 1 of 2 on dribbles. He touched the ball 14 times, 8 of 9 passing accuracy, very good for 89%. Only lost the ball twice. That's good as well. Very good. 2 for 3 on ground duels, 0 for 1 on aerials. And he was fouled once. So 6.5, pretty average standard rating. Once you come on the pitch, you get a 6.5 basically. So didn't do enough to get any boost on the rating, but was clean in possession. Clearly based on his touches, kind of got the ball a little deeper on the pitch. He seemed collecting in midfield, collecting wide here. Barely got a touch on top of the box there. So not the most in terms of chances or options for him. As you can see here, most of the game, the attack momentum was leaning this way when he was on the pitch. So not much opportunity to really express himself. Couldn't add to his tally of 4 goals on the season in League 1. Yeah, 4 goals and 3 assists. So not bad actually for Shamar in 22, 17 starts, 66 minutes per game. Did make a team of the week, so that's good. And he has 7 goal contributions in that time. So not bad in his first season in the French top flight. Really interested to see what happens with him. Of course, he's due to go back from his loan deal at the end of June back to Moscow, so to Spartak. So it's pretty interesting, and I'm interested to see what happens with him. Claremont, as you know, right now, pretty much nailed down to the bottom of the table. Le Havre, who is safe, is only 7 points away, so it's not like it's an impossible, way out of this relegation battle. But with only 7 games left, it's getting dimmer and dimmer, their chances of staying up. Either way, he'll be going back to his parent club, and we'll see what the future holds for him. Leading in, hopefully, I know for him, he'll want to finish the season strong and shore up his options for the upcoming season. Okay, so that's Nicholson. Let's check another player who featured in the Nations League finals, Ronaldo Cephas and Karagucho. All right, so Ronaldo Cephas, since the break, only had 1 game on April the 2nd, and rare for him, did not enter the field of play. His team, I believe, drew this game. Yep, it was 1-1. And like I said before, people, he was an unused substitute. So he was named on the bench, but did not come on. Let's see, his season right here is averaging a 6.85, not too bad. Predominantly playing on the left-hand side of the attacking 3, or in the 4-2-3-1 system in that left midfield role. 27 games played, 19 starts, 58 minutes per game. And he does have 3 goals and 1 assist on the season. Has not registered a goal or assist, though, since 13th of January. He had an assist, and his last goal was all the way back on September the 30th. So a long goal drought for him. Did start off the season with 3 goals in the first 2 months, but hasn't scored since, and hasn't had an assist since January. So, that's one thing that we're going to look at, people, towards the end of this season for Cephas. Can he become a little more consistent as far as registering goals and assists? And, let's hope that this last outing for him was just due to maybe him traveling and his travels that he had leading up to the game. Because, the last couple of games before the window, he had 1 sub appearance. The game before that, he was also a sub. And that is coming from, for long stretches of the season, pretty much being a nailed-on starter. So let's hope that this is not a new trend, people, that he's now, going to predominantly be used as a sub. Would love to see him get back that starting role on the left or the right. Looks like Saponara has been the one that has displaced him from time to time in that role. But let's hope, people, that he can nail that back down, because they do have a couple of options that they've been rotating. So let's watch that as we move forward. But I think for him, 2 things that I'd love for him to work on, that technique just needs to continue to improve. And I think in training, he should just be doing a million one-on-ones with goalkeepers and finishing training and drills, just to get his confidence up in those situations. Somebody said Boza has fallen badly out of form. Where he said the penalty has put him to the bench. Yeah, I don't believe that Moscow is where the future lies for him. So, speaking of that, people, I want to check when his contract with Spartak is up. Let's see, where is it at? So it just says when the loan ends, but when is the contract until? When I look at my phone, I know where it is, but this layout is a little different on here. Contract until... Okay, there it is. So the contract actually does run out when the loan ends. So he's going to be a free agent, people. So right now, we pretty much can talk to teams and try to get that pre-contract sewn up. So really, really needs to find form right now, I think. And I'm sure that his agent, the great international dimension, they will be sorting out his future for him, because they look to know what they have been doing lately with their players. Yeah, man, Claremont will be relegated. But I know yourself, that's the $1 million question, you know. We can only hope and pray. There's no really way to know. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a few, because there always are, but I'm just hoping it's not 5-6 starters or something like that, like this last window, you know, whether injury or suspension or whatever the case is. Okay, so it's Kasey and Dexter. So Kasey got yellows in both games as well. Okay, so I saw it was Dexter, and I did check the CONCACAF rule book, and it does state that the Nations League unserved suspensions would carry over to the next official game of the team. So I did my double check. I wanted to make sure, and I did after I heard that information today again. People were telling me that the Nations League yellows will carry over, which is the truth, people. So Dexter, Lembikisa, and Kasey Palmer will not be eligible to play that first game against the Dam Rep. Or excuse me, against Dominica. I keep saying Dam Rep. We go to the Dam Rep. We host Dominica. No, we host Dam Rep and we go to Dominica. Yeah, so yeah, I know what you mean. Dominican Republic, not Dominica. But I must put the two team them in our zone, make we have to confuse a little bit. Dominica and the Dominican Republic, people. Sparta must also. Yes, Ugalde is gone. Yeah, and Bowser's contract is actually up at the end of the loan. So if they haven't put a contract on the table for him again, then the loan spell ends in summer, but has a deal with Spartak until summer of 2020. Ah, okay. All right, cool. Respect. Yeah, man, Baby did the draw and give it to Dominica team. But other than that, he picked well. Yeah, man, I know Ugalde is gone. Ugalde was playing really well for them in this in that game against Honduras the other day as well. And in the friendly they played, he played well. Looked to be real quality. Young striker. Okay, so the Spartak contract doesn't end till then. Okay. Let me see. Shamar Nicholson. Transfer market. This will give me the contract info. Yeah, contract there expires June 30, 2026 with an option. Oh, so Claremont actually has a buy option as well. So they could elect to buy him. But if they don't, he'll go back to Moscow, where his contract there expires June 30, 2026. All right, cool. Nice. All right, so that's Shamar news. That's Cephas news. Who else have we not spoken about that was at the Nations League and did some contribution? Let's check on our boy in midfield, Mr. Karoy Anderson. Should have checked about him when we looked at Hector, but I didn't. So let's just go back and give him his flowers and his due. I want to say he didn't play, but let me double check. So he played one of the games. He played in the first one. Didn't play in the second 0-0 draw, but he did play in the 1-1. So let's see how he did in this one, people. Karoy Anderson played in midfield, box-to-box role. So he only lasted the first half in this one, people. 45 minutes, 6.8, 23 touches, 11 of 16 accurate passes for 69%. Lost the ball 7 times. Had 2 shots on target, 0 for 1 on his long passes, 1 for 2 ground duels, 3 for 4 on his aerials, and defensively had 1 interception, 1 tackle, and 1 time dribble pass. So that was Karoy Anderson. Was pulled out of this one at halftime. Don't see an injury symbol there, but I know that he was not on the bench in the second game they played of this Easter weekend. So hopefully no issues there. I didn't do any kind of follow-up checks with that. So hopefully there's nothing on the injury front as to why he only lasted the 45 minutes. Yeah, I checked today, Float. The competition rules of the Nations League state that if there's unserved suspensions after the finals or the end of the competition, that player has to serve said suspensions in that team's next official games, which will be the World Cup. So both Dexter and Kasey got yellow cards in both matches, and so they have a 1-game suspension to serve, which means they're out of the June 6th World Cup qualifier. Well, Marlon, it's something that they've been doing, and I think they'll continue to do, and it's pretty much a race against time for them at this point. You saw in the last window when they played their internationals, they bedded in a few more, and I think we can expect about another 3 to 4 by the time they play us in June. So, it's their way to try to level the playing field. They have the resources to do so. When you look at the lower leagues in Spain, players that may have been brought up in leagues in Spain and have since moved on. But yeah, they do have that to rely on. I think the main thing with them will just be, how fast can they make these players look like a unit. But in all honesty, more than likely, no matter what, how many players they're able to bring in, they'll be able to just kind of, I'm pretty sure coming to Jamaica, they'll be wanting to play a defense-first type of system, which is something that a coach can drill into even players that have just met each other. So, I think where it will help them is just the professionalism that some of the players might bring, those that have maybe been exposed to more professional environments and played a bit more higher class levels over the years. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see what they can pull off. But I know that they will be pulling out all the stops to try and get as many as possible, because they know it can only help them. Okay, so it was just rest related. Okay, that's good, because I didn't see anything pop up about injuries. Has a deal at Charlton until who is this about? I'm not sure who this is referring to. Maybe Karoy, I'm assuming. Let's see if he's talking about Karoy. $125K. Sure, that will go up. Okay, yeah, he's talking about Karai. June 2027. Yeah. So he has some time. Deshaun Bernard only signed a 1-year deal. Yeah. They the fan base want to sign him, but the fans and the hierarchy at the club are two different things. But if it was up to the fans, they would have already put a contract in front of him. They love him. Okay, cool. So it was just getting him off the pitch. Okay, so there's 4 that you have your eyes on that you're hoping they don't get over the line. Okay, well, keep us posted on that, Marlon. Maybe as we lead up to it, we can do some shows like kind of really diving into, what the Dominican Republic have done to try and prepare for these games. But we have a bunch of weeks left, Marlon, but we definitely can link and figure that out, because I know you're somebody with some information on some of these other teams as well. Yeah, I figured it out. I did some detective work and I checked who was 2027 and it was him. Yeah. Somebody said that's where Boza should go. Roma. Would be nice to see Boza playing for them. All right, so Karai Anderson. All right, people. So let's check on some players that had the misfortune of missing out on the Nations League for various reasons. So let's check Big Mikel Antonio. So Mikel Antonio, we went over that one with Newcastle and West Ham before. So let's go to the most recent game he played, which was the 1-1 draw with Tottenham. In this one, was quite a weird game. I thought Tottenham for long stretches looked the better team, but West Ham in their moments looked like they could get at Tottenham with ease. Bowen and Kudus in particular really causing issues, and Paqueta as well. But as you can see here, people, Antonio had the lowest score on the West Ham side with a 6.0. Got a yellow card as well. So let's see. The usual energetic, robust movement, touches all over the front, attacking third, left, right, through the middle. Also did some defensive work as well. 90 minutes played. Expected goals 0.72. So, probably should have a goal when you have that type of XG. 2 shots on target and that one big chance missed on the slip by can't even remember which defender. I think it was Van de Ven that slipped on that play. Where did it go? Bear with me, people. Somehow this went away. All right, Mikel. Yeah, had that one big chance missed. 34 touches, did lose the ball 19 times though. 6 out of 10 passing for 60%. Was unsuccessful on the one cross he attempted. Only 2 for 10 on his ground duels. Normally he does better on those. 1 for 5 on aerials. He had 2 fouls, was fouled once and was offsides once. Had 1 interception, 1 tackle, and was dribble pass once. So definitely the passing accuracy, the losing possession brought down the score, and of course the big chance missed to a 6.0. But in all honesty, people, he was a terror in this game. Just all over the channels, put immense pressure on the back line, Romero, Van de Ven especially. And, could have been a much, much different game if he was able to find the target. I do think on that chance, he just snatched at it, rushed it a bit. Probably didn't realize that he could have taken maybe another touch, made it a little easier finish for him. But did play, let's see, when is it that he... I think he came off. Oh, no, he didn't come off. That's right. He didn't make any subs. So this was the first game since his injury where he was able to play the whole 90 minutes. You could see when the whistle blew, he was flat on his back, just done. Didn't have any energy left. So, that's one thing we need to watch, people, as this season progresses. How many of these games will Antonio be able to play the full 90? The games are coming thick and fast. I'm really curious to see this weekend, actually, if Moyes starts him again, because I'm sure they'll want to make sure that he can make it through the season. But yeah, good signs to see him be able to play the 90 minutes. I thought there were many times in that second half where I could have seen the coach making the substitution, but he did stay with him and persevere through it, and he was able to get through the game. But yeah, 1-1 draw. Not the greatest performance from Antonio in terms of what he did score sheet wise and his player rating, but if you watch the game and you saw what he did, definitely a terror, driving the other team's defense back and just posing a constant threat on the counter, opening space for his fellow attackers as well. So Antonio doing what he does. Definitely needed to be a little more clinical, but I think that will come as he gets more and more acclimatized to the pitch again after being out for such a long time. Big deal said Boza should go to the championship. Yeah, Fresh. He has been good for them. Okay, so you're saying Roma's possible because of depth. Okay. Fresh God, where you say? Look pan John. Yeah, man. I agree. Let's pull up John Russell. Let's pull up Jonathan Russell. Barnsley, League One. And this was the most recent game. They played Burton. But he did have 2 games. They played Cambridge first. And I just want to look at Cambridge real quick because I know we have one player that can represent Jamaica there, Jordan Cousins, another CDM. He played the full 90 minutes. Actually, this has been one of the longest stretches I can remember ever since learning about the player where he's been fit. So kudos to Cousins for playing some minutes and staying fit for Cambridge this season. But let's check who we came to check. And that's John Russell, after not getting any game time in the Cambridge game, was an actual starter in this one and played the entire game in the lone CDM role. As you can see on his heat map, stayed in front of the defense and did a good job screening them there, but also got up into the attack from time to time. 90 minutes played, 55 touches, brilliant passing accuracy, 42 of 45 for 93%, 2 of 2 on long passes, 1 off target, 1 shot blocked, had 1 big chance missed, which pulled down the score because typically a CDM with that type of accuracy of pass would have a higher score, but the big chance miss bring that down a little bit. 2 for 5 on his ground duels, 1 for 2 on his aerials, only 5 possession loss out of 55 touches, 1 clearance, 1 interception, 2 tackles, and he was dribble past 1 time. So good run out from John Russell there. Good to see him getting the lone CDM role. I think one of the knocks on John Russell by Jamaica fans is, they kind of question his motor in midfield, ability to get around and cover the ground. But that's good to see in a system like this, him being trusted to be that lone CDM. So definitely something to keep an eye on, people. Is he somebody that has been getting a raw deal lately in terms of the selections? We are still searching for that midfield balance and that proper midfield that we can say, yes, we found it. Is Russell not being a part of it? Does that make much sense? In the previous squads going into Nations League, I pretty much had him in my mock squads. So yeah, what is it about this player that the coach is not really seeing, to warrant him being in these teams? Because we've seen players moved into that role from different positions, whether it's right back or center backs going into that role. We've seen more attacking players being asked to play a deeper role. So, what is it about this player that just is not, catching the eye of the coach, So I'm not sure what's going on with him. All right, I see somebody else in the chat put another name up. So let's go ahead and check that as well. Mr. Devante Cole. We heard the last time that there were still a few issues going on with the paperworks, and that was a part of the reason why he was not in the squad per Heimer Hallgrimsson. And let's see how he did. So, of course, he's on the same team with John. So he did play in both games. In the first one, he got the start and played the full game, 6.6, 90 minutes. And there are his stats: 8 for 11 passes, 24 touches, lost the ball 9 times. 2 for 7 on the ground duels, 2 for 4 on the aerials, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, 1 for 2 dribbles. So Devante Cole, people, was on fire this season, earlier in the season. But if you look at his matches recently here on the left side, I don't see a goal or assist. Last goal was in the beginning of February, and look at how many goals and assists he was getting in these times, people. All throughout the season, all the way back, you'll see goals, and assists all the way back to August when the season started. And as the season goes, this is the first time we've seen a sheet with no goal or assist on it right here where we are right now. So, towards the end of this season, kind of had a dip in form, and Barnsley still clinging into that playoff spot. At times, they have been as high as, I think, second or third this season. But right now, they're still in fifth, have a decent cushion from Lincoln on 67 and Oxford on 67 as well with Greg Lee. So, yeah, we have some players that are in line to perhaps get the playoff spot. Barnsley maybe still have slim hopes of getting to the automatic, but probably won't happen with just 4 games to play, or 6 games to play, sorry. So yeah, we'll watch that, people, see how that plays out. But the Barnsley boys, Cole and John Russell. And I think after this match, people, because I had checked this before, I believe Devante did not start in this next game against Burton, which Barnsley was able to win 3-1. But let me just get confirmation of that here. Yeah, they went to a 1-striker system, and Cosgrove got the start. And Devante Cole came in for him in the 75th minute, played 15 minutes, only touched the ball 8 times, didn't really register anything attacking-wise, and got a 6.4. Did have 2 clearances, though, on the defensive end. So that's Devante Cole, people. I think starts most of the time, really a rare non-start for him. 37 starts out of 40 played and has 17 goals and 3 assists on the season. So very, very good season from him, even though it has tapered off lately. Hopefully the whole debacle with the paperwork is not affecting him in any way. All right, let's see. I had talked about John a bit. Let's see if anybody. Okay, so Fresh doesn't think it's a raw deal with him not being selected. He just hasn't been on form or starting much. Okay. Don't think he's the answer, but could do a job for sure. Know yourself. I'm more in that camp than the Fresh God camp on this topic, because I agree that maybe he's not the ideal answer, but for what we have to use, I think that he has some use. Fresh says he wouldn't. John and Lambert are the same kind of players to me. Yeah, I think Russell showed me in the limited time for Jamaica that he might have a bit better passing range than Lambert. I think Lambert and him are pretty similar on the safe passing options, but I think Russell might have another level to unpick and unlock passes and defenses as well, which we saw in that cameo in Mexico, which I thought was, arguably his best performance for Jamaica, the first one. So yeah, I think he has maybe some other elements to his game that Lambert maybe doesn't bring. But I think Lambert has better energy than John in terms of defensive effort. So, depends on what you're going for. Get enough chance in the team. He's way better than Lowe in midfield. Yeah, I think he is better than Lowe in midfield. That I will agree with. I will agree with that. Big up, Sion. Bless up. Boy, Chris, I wasn't going to talk about him because, he's one of those where, yes, I know he's eligible, and yes, I know he could represent us, but I haven't heard enough concrete evidence to suggest that we're really going for him. So I kind of leave him alone, but I have been looking at the player, Chris, and this is his season so far, people. 39 played, 24 starts, 3 team of the week. He has 12 goals and 1 assist on the season. And people, if you look at his goals recently, these are all Championship and FA Cup. So he had a goal against Cardiff, 2 against Huddersfield, 2 in the FA Cup win against Wolves to send them to the semis. And he had a hat-trick against Rotherham, a hat-trick in the cup match before that, 1 against Stoke, 1 against Plymouth. So the bulk of these 12 goals that he has in the league, people, are lately. Bristol City at the end of January, assist, goal against Swansea in the league. And, look, he had this long stretch, no goals, 2 goals here, and he didn't score at the start of the season. So, pretty much the opposite of Devante Cole's season. Like, everything been in the last 3 months, basically the bulk of all his goals. So Ellis Sims definitely one at 23 years old, 6'3", good height. really, really gets himself about. A player that I think, when you look at the way our strikers need to play in our system, has all the attributes you would want. The pace, the power, the speed, the ability to hold up the ball. Really, really clinical in front of goal. Has a knack for getting into position to finish. So, just a player that I think if Jamaica would be lucky to have a player like this, especially with the age profile, the size profile, the skill set. Definitely think. Yeah, man, I just referenced it. Know yourself. That cameo was really good from him. Yep, that's true. That's true. John can do a job. He's better with the ball and he doesn't give away the ball. I agree. I think he will aid us in getting more possession in some of these games. I won't put that on screen. Know yourself, but yeah. Damian Lowe or Lambert, who's better at CDM? I think that's a tough one. I'm not gonna disrespect Lambert, who been playing there for a good stretch now in his career. I think Lambert is better than Lowe in the CDM position. I really do. Honestly. Kind of get the feeling Ellis would be heading to his mother. Yeah, I saw that fresh because I don't think he's crazy enough to think that he has England anywhere in his future right now. But the Poland is a good shout because they've been trying to find somebody else besides Milik and Lewandowski for like the last 10 years, and they haven't found another one. So that could be a very good shout. So Matty Cash go over there and play with them as well. Yeah, this is his breakout year by far. He hasn't done anything close to this before. No, I don't think so either. Know yourself. Yeah, man, that is. I actually like their entire team. I think Coventry look like a team that could. I mean, yes, there'll be relegation fighting in the Premier League, but their style of play, the players they have, they could do something in the league, man. In terms of staying in the league, I like what that coach is doing at that club. Lowe is better at winning the ball, but I think Lambert is a better passer. Yeah, and I think Lambert is also good at winning the ball. So when you factor in that, I think the gap in passing is wider than the gap in who wins the ball more or who can win the ball better, if that makes sense. That too, Lambert positioning in the position will always be better. More repetition, more reps. Yeah, people. So that's pretty much most of the folks. Let me just do one more person because I know this player divides opinion, but until we stop putting him in our 60-man list and all these things, I will always be checking on this player, Omari. So they did have 2 games, Ipswich. They had the 1-0 victory over Blackburn and the 3-2 mad game against Ipswich. And this was actually 2 occasions where Omari Hutchinson started and played the entire match. And if you look at the season, 38 played, only 14 starts. So good signs for Omari, getting the trust of his coach. This one, he didn't last the whole one. Did have to come off at the end. I forgot about that. 89 minutes. Only a 6.0 rating, 45 touches. Lost the ball 17 times. He was 16 for 22 for 73% on the day. 1 for 1 on his long passes. He was 1 for 9 on his dribbles. So that really brought down the score on the day for sure. 4 of 15 ground duels didn't help either. 0 for 1 aerials. He had 2 fouls and was fouled once. He had 1 clearance and 2 tackles on the day. So not the best rating for Omari, but did play a long stretch of the game and was able to aid his team to a 1-0 much needed victory for them, trying to get that automatic promotion to the Premier League. So in the next game against Ipswich Town, He also started again and played the full match this time. 90 minutes, 6.2 rating, 27 touches, lost the ball 10 times, was accurate on every pass, 11 for 11, 0 for 2 on his crosses, 0 for 2 on his dribbles attempted, 2 for 9 on his ground duels, did not attempt an aerial, had 1 foul committed, had 2 interceptions, two tackles, and 3 dribble passes, which also brought the score down. So a 6.2 for Amari. Again, not the most offensive output from him on the day. Actually, one of his quieter attacking games, actually both of these games, to be honest, didn't really get, into the action much on the attacking end, but did show good signs of discipline. Definitely helped out his team on the defensive end in both of these games, as you can see from the heat map. Did spend a bit of time in his own half. And just good to see that the players getting starts now, and it is coming up to the business end of the season. So that's good to see that the coach is putting that trust in him. Obviously, was player of the season for the month, player of the month, in the championship. So getting rewarded with some more regular minutes in the starting lineup. So let's see how that continues for him this weekend. Did play 2 matches in this week and started both. So, if he gets a third start in a row, then boy, we can really say he has done enough to impress this coach to be starting all the time. So big thing for him there. Let's stop sharing this for a moment. Yes, people, so if you haven't already, please like the video. I'm going to go through the comment section real quick before I pull up the Premier League fixtures from this week and also have a look at the Premier League table itself. So the Premier League is getting hot, people. The Premier League is getting hot. As you know, by the title that you see on the screen, I go by the name Jason Gooner. And of course, I'm a big-time Arsenal fan. So I have been watching this Premier League race with massive intent, and we were not disappointed this week in these games either. So let's go to the screen. But first, let me go to the comments again before we pull that up. Okay, I'm talking about Lowe. Finish. Big baller Hutchinson. Ipswich showing they're the real deal. That's true, Marlon. I'm really out for this automatic spot. Ipswich is under pressure from the Saints. McKenna is showing that he's really good coach. Yeah, man. Southampton and that game was actually a great advert for the championship. 2 really good teams that you can see have the quality to be in the Premier League. Wayne Swire asked, do you think Lewis Baker is the answer to our midfield? I think he's more of a box-to-box, not a CDM. We need a CDM. Well, Wayne Swire, to be totally honest, I think we get caught up on the CDM box-to-box thing a little bit. I honestly believe that the true nature of the midfielders that we need in the system we play, whether it's the 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, which we don't really ever play 4-2-3-1. It's always a flat 4 in midfield, whether it's the 3 at the back or the 4 at the back. And I think that both of those midfielders honestly play a box-to-box role. I don't see one of them advancing higher. I think they kind of move together for the most part. So do we really need a true CDM? I don't even know if the system has one in there. To me, both central players in the midfield play more of a box-to-box role. That's what I see when I watch us play. So I think Lewis Baker could be an answer to one of those roles. I think he'd play the role better than, as an example, like a Kasey Palmer. I think he's better suited to play a role like what we asked Kasey to play. Lewis Baker better suits the role. I think, somebody like a Lambert or a Lowe in this system can sometimes be, maybe not the most technical, progressive player that you would want in that system. A lot of people say the most fluid we looked was in the Mexico game when we had Ravel and Daniel. Now, of course, the more fluidity you have, you might not have as much grit and steel. So it's that balance that we have to find. Is that balanced player there? I think of the squad we had in the Nations League, the player with the most balance to do that is really Karai Anderson. But he's 19 years old. So can we give him the keys to the midfield? Maybe it's a bit too soon. I don't know. But I do think the way we play, Lewis Baker does have the skill set to fit it. The only thing with him I worry about is he does have a propensity for injuries. And in CONCACAF, it's a very rigorous and physical game. So that's the only thing I will say. Will he hold up in CONCACAF? Yeah, and that's another thing, Wayne. I don't know how close we even are to getting someone like him. That's why I haven't really highlighted him much, because it's from what I last heard from those who know the player and his reps. He's still not really having those thoughts right now. It's coming, bro. All right, people. So let's get right into Yeah, but Wayne, how much of that is just we don't have the players to keep the ball? If we had more players on the field to keep the ball, would we be able to keep it more? That's the question. All right, people. So the Man U fan them already cussing about what going on with the team. So without further ado, people, let's pull up the Premier League table and see where we're at. Very, very exciting. One of the most exciting Premier Leagues in recent history for sure. So yeah, this is the Premier League table, people. So of course, Liverpool was able to pull it off today with the 3-1 win against Sheffield United. So that put them on 70 points. Goal difference 42. Arsenal 68 points with the win over Luton 2-0 at home. 48 goal difference. So still have a six gap in the goal difference there, which is nice. That's like an extra point. Manchester City in third. So all the title holders held serve. 4-1. They demolished Villa. They cost my team for going and getting this nil-all. Emery go and didn't play ultra defensive, but played more attacking than us and got split wide open, 4-1. So, cost all we want. We got our point. Aston Villa got that 4-1 beating, still on 59 points. And they are 2 points ahead of Spurs, but Spurs does have the game in hand. Spurs had a draw with West Ham in their last fixture. Manchester United, people, the game of the midweek, they lost 4-3 to Chelsea. So before I go any further, people, I just want to pull up this game right here. This one was an incredible match. So as you can see on the screen, people, it was 4-3. Conor Gallagher started the scoring in the 4th minute. Garnacho with a Gallagher scored in the 4th minute. Then Palmer got the penalty. It was a foul by Anthony. It was a bit soft, but I think it was the right call. Cole Palmer was able to finish to make it 2-0. And then before the half, Garnacho got a gift from Moises Caicedo, who seems to give the other team a gift once every 2 games, I would say. And Garnacho did really well to latch onto it and finish before Badiashile could recover. And then out of 5 minutes later, we were back on terms. Bruno Fernandes, after a brilliant cross from Diogo Dalot, made it 2-2. And then they came all the way back from 2-0. Garnacho in the 67th minute after a brilliant counter-attack. Basically, Chelsea had some sustained possession. The whole entire team was up the pitch. Badiashile tried to win a ball coming out of the centre-back line. Heavy touch. Lost the ball. I believe, I forget who played the ball. I think it might have been Rashford. Played the ball to Anthony, who broke. And then after that, Anthony with a brilliant outside the left foot cross to Garnacho, who beat the goalkeeper Petrovic to it, who was in no man's land, headed it in for 3-2. And then the maddest ending ever commenced after that. So, pretty much the game was dead, 3-2. 99th minute, I want to say, Madueke collects a ball on the right with a lot of space behind Dallo, just kicks and puts his head down, gets by him, and at the last second when he's about to shoot, Dallo stumbles and trips him. Pretty much, I thought it was a Stonewall penalty. It was given, and that made it 3-3. Cole Palmer, again, ice cold, slots it in the corner. And then on the next attack, Chelsea force a corner. Cole Palmer is alert, goes short, Enzo plays it short to him, and nobody closes him down from Manchester United, not a soul. And he just puts his laces behind it. McTominay tries to block, hits off his shoulder, unsights Onana, and makes it 4-3 for the big 4-3 win for Chelsea. So that win, people, put Chelsea all the way to 10th place. So yeah, so Chelsea's in 10th, people, after that win. But if you look at the table, they are now only 2 points off of 7th place West Ham, and only 5 points off Manchester United in 6th. So I don't believe they can catch Tottenham for that 5th spot. But I would think Chelsea right now is looking at that 6th spot of United and saying, boy, we could maybe catch them, you know. So yeah, that was a big turnaround for Chelsea. I think at the end of that game, Pochettino would have a lot of issues with the post-match, but what a difference injury time can make for your post-match. So, yeah, man, what are your thoughts on that game, people? That was a mad game today. Mad game today, man. Who's my choice to replace who again? No. Oh, not about Ten Hag. Do we play any friendly before the Copa? That I'm not sure of. I'm not certain on that. I would think they would probably want to play maybe one, but with the games on the 6th and the 9th, I'm not sure. They might also want to just go into full preparation mode for the 3 opponents, because once you get into the Copa, the prep time for each opponent might not be so long in between games with travel and everything. So, you know, I would think maybe he would want to utilize that time to just really prep for the 3 opponents. But I'm not sure. Maybe they can find another South American opponent that is willing to take a game somewhere in the US, since they're also preparing, you know. So the options will be there and the teams will be around. It's just about logistically if they can get it done. All right, so let's see. So that game happened there. Let's take a look at the fixtures again. Yeah, so that Chelsea Man U game, people, was a mad piece of game. This is the upcoming ones. I need the results. All right, so let's take a look at this one, people, the Aston Villa Man City game. I saw somebody make a reference to it here. Emery bent over with the team he put out. Boy, Bull, I think he was kind of handcuffed with some of the injuries he had. I think the only tactical one he really made was not starting Bailey and going with Diaby. Really it was Zaniolo who played over Bailey, because Diaby didn't. It was weird what he did, because he played the same system he normally plays, but the way he changed it was he had Diaby playing wide where Bailey normally plays, and he actually had Morgan Rogers playing underneath or behind John Duran, and he had Zaniolo on the left, where I thought he could have just simplified it and just played Zaniolo and Duran in the 2-striker system he always play, and just have Diaby or Bailey and Rogers on the left where he had been playing before. But he decided to change it up and go different, and you can see the evidence on the screen of how that went out for him. 4-1 victory for Man City. Rodri in the 11th. Duran did get the equalizer in the 20th, somewhat against the runner play, and then Foden with the hat-trick in the second half, or in the first half injury time, got his first, and then 2 in the 62nd and 69th minutes to make it a hat-trick for him. So 4-1 to City. Definitely domination on the day from them. If you look at the stats, 67 to 33 possession, 11 shots on target to 3, 25 shots in total. So, just pretty much one-sided on the day. Aston Villa was never able to get up to speed. I think when you look at the starting lineups of both teams, the glaring hole in the middle there, Douglas Luiz really missing Kamara or even John McGinn to make up the legs in midfield. Jacob Ramsey again, not fit enough to be on the bench, and head-scratchingly didn't start Tielemans on the day and decided to go for the young man, Tim. Won't say his last name. Tim. This man Tim right here. So maybe the multiple games, fixtures back to back. Tielemans did play twice for Belgium. Maybe that factored into it. I don't know. I don't know how Pau Torres doesn't play this game. I always think when he plays, they tend to have better results. So yeah, I mean, partly down to Emery, partly down to suspensions and injuries. Of course, Ali Watkins not being there hurts, but I do think John Duran, while not as technically clean as Ali, does have a skill set that can cause problems, as you saw by the goal he scored. So, I don't think that was the biggest reason. I just think that maybe he overthought how he set up the formation this time. I didn't understand why they played Morgan here. Would have made more sense to play Zaniolo, keep the 4-4-2 system that's been working for you. Because I don't think that, this double pivot really solidified anything in the central area. Luiz is more of a screener, not necessarily the best tackler. And I don't think Tim was just ready for this kind of opponent. I mean, they basically played him out of the game around him. He just had no influence on it. So Emery needs to take some of the blame, but I do think the timing wasn't the best for Aston Villa either. So that's my take on that. Since the Brentford game, yeah, man. Both penalties today was questionable to say at least, but no excuse. We should have done better. No, I think, look, the first one, it's a foul. I mean, the angle that he was trying to win that ball at, it just wasn't going to be possible. So he doesn't need to put that foot out to even cause that. Did he go down easily? Absolutely. But it was a foul, I thought. And the second one, I mean, even Dallow's reaction, when he goes down, his face first looking down, he knows his fate. He knows his fate right there. It's rough. The timing was rough, but I think they were both penalties. Even the second one, even though the initial contact is what made him fall, it didn't look like much. I think he does get him with his arm on the way down and his other leg as well. So it's two fouls. It's two fouls. It's two penalties. Next week, we'll see. They'll have McGinn back. I think Ramsey should be back by then. Watkins might be a little more touch and go, but I know McGinn is back this weekend, so he should be back as long as he don't get another red. And I think Jacob Ramsey is close enough to be playing against us by that time. Maybe not the weekend, but should be back for our game next weekend. Yeah, man. Foul, man. Yeah, I don't know how everybody fall asleep. Marlon, what I saw in that game with Chelsea and Man U is two teams that totally disregard defensive transition. The amount of fast break in that game is like the midfielder them just say, you know what? Now I met them two man there, but let's deal with it. Every time, man, nobody tracking back, killing themselves to get back. Both teams guilty of it today. Both of them. Where you say, you don't see no need for friendly. Those two games are like the friendlies, right? Yeah, I could have see that. I mean, I think we're going to play none neither. Okay, Cyan Bowen said the Zerbi him want. Well, I've seen him more linked with the Liverpool one still. Them say Southgate fooling you, so I don't know what I look for manager for. After Euro, Southgate are forward. Now that's a shout, know yourself. Pool the resources wisely. Better tickets, better resource, better accommodation. I don't hate that comment, know yourself. I don't think they would get a curry goat game, because I believe if they did get a friendly, they would probably try to play one of the South American teams not in their zone. Maybe duplicate a Ecuador style or something like that. Yeah, man. No defensive transition, Marlon. Neither side can stop a counter. Another way if you look on it, Lenny, if them get a friendly, him can maybe get to use players that him don't use in the qualifiers. Like get the whole squad to get a run out, maybe. But I am more leaning towards no friendly, just because you will have 2 games away to be together with the group and play some games before that grueling schedule in the Copa. Which one? I don't know which take you attack. A whole heap. Oh, maybe it was when I said Southgate. Where's a topper over Southgate? No, not for Liverpool. I talk about for Man U, because I've seen that already. That he's like the number 1 option right now. Radcliffe rate him. It is mad. So before the World Cup qualifier, Marlon, boy, that's cutting it close, man, because some of them man are done May 19, and them probably gonna want at least a week. Then you get to the 26th, and I guess you could have one like in that maybe June 1st-ish, June 2nd-ish. Yeah, you'd probably want to have it by at least in a May, like 31st, them time, then maybe a week before. No, I know big league, but I'm saying in that window of the World Cup qualifiers, let's say you use 16 player, but the bulk of them who get the most minutes is like 12, 13 of them. Maybe that other 7, you give them the starting of the friendly. That's what me that refer to still. But yes, I would hope that the squad is going to be extremely similar to the 2 set of squads. Yeah. Yeah, Marlon, like our next team, where I'd say for duplicate Ecuador, would I probably lean a little more towards Paraguay. Towards Peru. Yeah. Even though Paraguay have the strength, and I know Ecuador is a stronger team too. But I think Peru and Ecuador attacking wise are a little more similar than Paraguay. Even though them have all 3 of them teams have similar traits still. Peru, Paraguay, and Ecuador, to be honest. Okay, so it's not down to Radcliffe. Well, Radcliffe I got have a talk because him pay the bills. Remember that. Yeah, man, I just stop watching Manchester United because all they're going to do is stressing out. I tell you that. Let's see what else happened here. Of course, the other team. Let's just look at this Liverpool match. So, Conor Bradley with the own goal to equalize 1-1 in the 58th. McAllister with a rocket, and Cody Gakpo with a header from a good Andy Robertson cross. 2 off the bench got a goal. So 3-1. I was actually predicting a 4-0 here. So good that they only got 2 in the goal difference race. Liverpool started similar team. Konate got his place back from Kwanzaa, and Gravenberch started this time in midfield. Same front 3 again. Salah came off in the 60th minute, which was very surprising because when he came off, They had just equalized to make it 1-1, but it must have been a pre-planned substitution because the timing was just very strange. As you can see on the stats, basically a attacking training session for Liverpool, 83% to 17. 9 shots on target, but Sheffield still managed 3 shots on target with only 17%. So that's not so bad. So yeah, another win for Liverpool again to keep cracking at the top of the table. And those were the other fixtures from the midweek, people. Newcastle, Everton 1-1. Forest, Fulham 3-1. Bournemouth, Crystal Palace 1-0. Burnley, Wolves 1-1. West Ham, Tottenham 1-1, which we kind of looked at briefly with Antonio. Arsenal 2-0. Brentford and Brighton 0-0. City 4-1 over Villa. Liverpool 3-1. And of course, Chelsea and Man U 4-3 in the last game of the week, the midweek. So let's look at the upcoming fixtures for the weekend now, people. Saturday, we have Crystal Palace versus Man City in the curtain raiser. So this is one where, as you can see, City has not had the best of luck with them. They actually drew 2-2 earlier this season. I remember they gave up, I want to say they were up 2-0 in this game. Yeah, they were up 2-0 in this game and gave up 2 goals late to equalize that one. Mateta and Olise on the day. They'll be without Olise this time. And then last year, in the return fixture, they were able to get a 1-0 win in March. This was one of those wins that got them the title in that long stretch of wins towards the end. But it was only a Haaland penalty that could get the job done that day. So Crystal Palace does have a tendency to play them tight. As you can see on the recent results, Man City has 3 wins and 2 draws, and Crystal Palace has, what's that? 2 losses, 1 win, and 2 draws. So for this one, yep, 7:30, the early kickoff. So people, what are your predictions for this one? Just saw the form book, previous results between the teams. I am going to go ahead and do my little predictor here. So let's see. MC, no, actually it's CP hosting Man City. And I am going to go with I think Palace will get a goal in this game, but I do think City will be too much in the end. I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-1 City victory. Hopefully I am wrong, people, but these are my picks for the week, so I'm going to be using my analyst brain, not my fan brain. So yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 to 3-1 to Man City, hopefully not. So yeah, 3-1 Man City, people. What do you think about that one? So yeah, let me see your predictions real quick for that one, people. I'm going with a 3-1 victory for Man City in the first game of the weekend. What do you guys think? Bull says hope for a 1-1, but probably 3-1. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. 3-1, but I will be hopeful for the 1-1. Bless up, Stefan. Respect for being here, bro. Like the video, share the content, and watch the replay if you haven't been here. I had some nice discussion about the Reggae Boyz, what they've been doing. Just some little beefs flaring up in the comments and everything. We've just been going through it with everybody. Yeah, so the comments coming in on the prediction, people. So Hot Chili said 2-0 to City. Fresh said 3-0 City. Cyan Bowen going with a little closer scoreline of 2-1 to City. All right, keep them coming in, people. In the meantime, let's just go to the next game real quick. We have Aston Villa versus Brentford. So that is that for that. Where's my thing that I like? Fixtures. I really like this quick view thing, people. So let's see here. Recent games they played in December in the return fixture. Brentford lost 2-1 to Villa in that one. So let's see. So for this one, people, Villa will be at home. I think in this game we see a much different Aston Villa starting lineup. I do believe that John McGinn served his 3-game suspension, so he will be back. As I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be too close of a turnaround for Ramsey to be back yet, but that would be another welcome addition if he can be back in time. But let's see. Okay, so they don't have anything for that. All right, so for this one, people, Aston Villa, I think they bounce back in this game at home at Villa Park. I will say I believe that Villa will win this one, but they're going to make tough work of it. I think Tony gets on the score sheet this week. It's been a couple of games where he hasn't, so I think he's going to get back on there this time. But I do think even without Watkins being back, Villa will pull it out. I think Bailey will start. I think Diaby and Bailey will both start this time. And I think that Villa wins this one at home. I'm going to say it's a 2-1 victory for Aston Villa. So I'm going to say 2-1 Villa, people. Let me check and see if anybody else has checked in with the scores. They say, agreeing with your boss. Are you with them, say? Boy, that won't be the last rumor you hear about Greenwood here. Bless up, Sean. We're out in the streets. Prediction time. Hot Chili said Villa 3-1. Bull said 2-all. Alright. Alright. Like how Damian not about Bull. I'm going to put on your score them this week. 3-1. I said 2-all for this one. And then we'll put the real scores. Alright, cool. Where's the fresh? You can go on. Science said 1-0 Villa. Fresh said 2-all. Yeah, man, Hot Chili. You're going to hear about different place forever. One bag of place. Greenwood are going to be linked to every club. Might as well call him Link. All right, so Everton, Burnley. What a barn burner this will be. So Burnley still in the relegation fight, 19 points. Everton in 16th and 26. The return fixture hosted by Burnley in December. Everton was a 2-0 victor. It's been a while since Everton got a win, people. No wins in their last 5, but they do have 2 draws and 3 losses. Burnley, 1, 2, 3. So that's a good run of form for them. 1 win, 1 loss, and 3 draws. So picking up some points at a crucial time of the season. And for me, this one is hosted at Goodison Park. 2 teams that struggle to get goals, but Burnley has been getting some lately. You know, people, look, I think Everton slump continues, man. I don't think they win this game, you know. I know it doesn't help Burnley as much as they need the help, but I think this one will be a 1-1 tie. I don't think either team will score much, but I do think that they'll both find a way to get 1 goal, and this one will be ending in a 1-all draw as far as I am concerned, people. So what do you think about the Everton Burnley game? Some people still checking in on the Villa one. 1-all in the Villa game, says Duckland. All right. Yeah, man, you're under pressure now. Come here, document them. 1 love to Everton, Bull say. Okay. All right, so the first 2 we never know. I'm gonna write them down. So we'll see how bad him do on the next set. Because I know him have some pressure. And then we can go and put in the scores for the Everton Burnley game. All right, Science say 2-0. All right. Actually, 1-0 Burnley. I almost say 1-0 Burnley, you know, but Burnley somehow find a way for drop the 3 points every time and draw. So that's why I'm going to give the 1-all. I feel like Burnley probably score first and then Everton find an equalizer somewhere. But yeah, I could be wrong there, but I don't see more than 2 goals at the most. I'd be shocked. unless some defensive error go on, because these teams not going to create no goals. All right, so the next one is going to be Fulham hosting Newcastle. So this one only 5 points separate them, but 5 places also separate them. 31 played, 39 for Fulham, 30 played, 44 for Newcastle. So Newcastle handled them at home 3-0 in December. And we're going to see how the return leg at at Fulham's ground is going to go about. Was it Craven Cottage? Yeah, Craven Cottage in London. So that is Fulham versus Newcastle. So for this one, people, Newcastle still having their injury issues on the back line. Fulham, man, so up and down. This team is hard to predict, man. Tottenham 3-0, lose to Wolves, 3-0 to Brighton, get 3-1 from Forest. And Newcastle is the same thing. You don't know which Newcastle. 3-0 Wolves, get 4-1 from Arsenal, lose to Chelsea, beat West Ham, draw with Everton. Like, these teams, you don't know what you're going to get. But anytime it's a game like this, people are always lean to the Craven Cottage, the hosts. So I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet against Newcastle. I think Isaka scored in 4 straight. So he'll set up a goal or score again. I'm going to give Fulham the slight advantage. 2-1. 2-1 Fulham is what I'm going to say, people. Going with the Fulham at the Cottage. First set Everton 2-1. Duckland Everton 1 love. Cyan said 2-all with Fulham and Newcastle. Duckland said Newcastle 2-0. Okay, yeah. Might create, but we don't see them a finish. Yeah, Everton yeah attack. Bull said 3-2 to Fulham. Okay. So we went similar. I went 2-1, he went 3-2. Hot Chili got the opposite, 3-2 Newcastle. Yeah, I could see this one having 5 goals in it, but I'm going to go a little more conservative and say 2-1. Fresh God out, I love that. I have monies in every fantasy league in the world that I'm in. Rodrigo Muniz, future Brazil striker, people, I'm telling you. Actually, I see 3 of them that need to be in the Brazil lineup soon. Well, 2 for sure. João Pedro and Muniz. Them 2 brother there need for them. I rate the 2 of them more than Richarlison. Tell you that straight up. All right. Luton, Bournemouth. So this one right here, people, Luton, right there in 18th. Really, we're hoping that Nottingham Forest didn't get that result. Let me check something real quick, people. Relegation. Yeah, so Forest, that big win for them got them to 25. Luton still on 22. Everton on 26. Brentford 28. Palace, not quite fully safe, but feeling decent about themselves, 30 points. So, yeah, this is getting to that crunch time. You know, Burnley and Luton probably still see some kind of light potentially at the end of the tunnel, but you know, as the weeks get shorter and shorter here, 7 games to go, you know, you really don't want to be past that 3-point difference. And with the goal difference, you know, they really need to cut that to 2, because minus 21 and minus 34, I don't see them getting that race won if they can even tie it up on points. So really getting down to the nitty-gritty here for these teams. Let's go back to the fixtures again. And let's look at the Luton Bournemouth game. So Luton, Kenilworth Road, definitely very, very, very difficult team to break down there. As you can see, Bournemouth had a classic match in March. This was the game where I believe they were up 3-1. No, yeah, this was 3-0. Yeah, 3-0 at halftime, and then 4 unanswered goals in the second half by Bournemouth. So this is one that Luton, if they do not make it out of this Premier League alive, still in the Premier League, they'll look back at this as one of those that they let get away. You know, 3-0 up, got to find a way to at least get a point out of that, but they're left with nothing on the day. So What do people think about this upcoming fixture between these two sides? I'm going to say Luton, Bournemouth. Boy, Luton really need the points, people. They really need the points. Bournemouth, the type of team that on their day really should be beating this team, but they haven't really figured out a way to get the level of consistency in their performance yet. I just feel like this team has the fight, man. I'm gonna say this is a mad one. 3-2 Luton. Luton finds a way to get 3 points, people, and make that relegation race crazier. So 3-2 Luton, I say. Brazil to the world. Yeah, man. You notice I just said Luton and Burnley, you know? I never bring up the other one. 2-2. Yeah, I was going to go 2-2, you know, but 2-2 Luton stay up, brother. 3-2. I'm going to will it. All right, so this is one where Bull could potentially take a lead on me. Going 2-1 to the Cherries. Science a 3-1 Bournemouth. All right, cool. So next game, people, as we go right along. Wolves and West Ham. So this should be a good one, people. Two teams very close in the table in points. 45 and 42. Wolves has a game in hand currently. As you can see, West Ham handled them in December 3-0. Not one of the better games for Wolves. They have been getting some beatings on the road. They got 3-0 from Newcastle as well. But this encounter will be at the Molineux, where they tend to have slightly better fixtures and results. As you can see, they've won their last two there against Sheffield and Fulham. So this one, they'll be hosting West Ham United. So two teams really close on season form. You know, the goal difference very similar, the points very similar. Perhaps West Ham has the slight edge because maybe a little more cutting edge in the final third. They've been a little luckier with injuries as well. I think at one point, all of Wolves' starting front three was out. Cunha did come back the last game and get some game time. Sarabia is already there. So they are getting healthier. So the attack's getting a little bit better. But for this game, I do think that West Ham's attack is rounding into some form as well. Paqueta, Bowen, Kudus, Antonio are looking decent right now. So yeah, I am gonna say, people, I think this game has. This game is a tough one. I think it's gonna draw. I think this game is gonna draw. I'm gonna go for a 1-1. I think West Ham gets the same result as they just did. And Wolves just did. They just had 1-1 draws. I think the trend continues. And I'm going to say 1-1 in this one, people. What do you guys think in the comment section? People still giving some Bournemouth 3-2. Solanke to score. Bournemouth win. Wolves matches at Molineux. At home to Wolves. First set 2-1 to West Ham. Antonio back on the score sheet. Yeah, Neto out for the season. Sad. 2-1 West Ham says Bull. So that's another one. He can get a one up on me there. Had Chile going for 2-1. So that's a popular scoreline for West Ham to win 2-1. Cyan agrees with me with the 1-1. I think we're going to be right, Cyan. All right. Next one. Last game of Saturday. Brighton at the Amex Stadium hosts the mighty Gunners. So as you can see, second place 68 points. Brighton in 9th and 43. Return fixture, we were able to beat them 2-0 when we hosted them in December at the Emirates. As you can see, 1 draw, 4 wins for Arsenal on the form table. Brighton and Hove Albion has 2 losses, 2 draws, and 1 win. So bit of up and down form for Brighton, but they did get Joao Pedro back. As I said, he played the full 90 minutes. I believe that they're a much more dangerous team when he's out there. So that is not something I am happy about. I was hoping he wouldn't be back yet, but he is back. But yeah, with this title challenge, at this point, you know, none of our opponents for the title or our direct opponents would have played yet. So we do have the chance again to try to put some pressure on them and get back to the top of the table. Of course, only 3 points will do that for us. So I'm going to say Arsenal keeps a clean sheet again. I think we have been doing that pretty regularly lately, even under away trips as well. So I'm going to say that we keep the clean sheet and we win this one 3-0 this time. I think we're going to actually get 3 goals this time. I think Brighton and Hove, with their style of play, are going to be very susceptible to our attacks. They're not going to low block at any point. And any team that comes at us, we really enjoy that game. So I think just the style of play is going to help us out this time. And it won't be as tight as the game against Luton was. And I think we're going to win this one 3-0. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet again. So I said 3-0 to the Arsenal people. What say you? And of course, he had to mess up his predictions with a 4-0 to Brighton. That is bad mind. He's a Liverpool fan, people, if you didn't know. And another bad mind Liverpool fan here, Nicholas. 3-0 Brighton, and he bigs me up. I don't want you big up. Take it back. Sayan said 2-1 Arsenal. The result I want, Brighton 3-1. The result I think will happen, Arsenal 3-1. Well, what you think is the right thing, because it will be an Arsenal win. I said 3-0, you said 3-1. I can accept 3-1 as well. So I'm hoping Brighton wins. Oh, yeah, sorry. You're right, Chile. So City potentially will be tied with us on goal difference. I mean, on points. But unless they win by 12 goals, they won't pass us. So we'll still be in second place at kickoff with the potential to go to first. So, yeah, you're right, Chile. Oh, okay. So your real prediction is 2-0. So I won't put the 4-0 down, Bull. I will put the 2-0 to Arsenal. All right, so that could come down to the actual correct answer. All right, so real quick, people, let's just go through the final few. Man U and Liverpool, the first game on Sunday morning. As you can see, first place Liverpool, 70 points, 48 points to Man U in 6. They had the 0-0 draw at Anfield. I would love that to happen again. And of course, the last time Man U went to Anfield, they were up like 7. So it was tough that day. Ten Hag somehow survived and is still there. So, doesn't look like happy reading to the Man U fans the last time they were there. No. But wait, they drew at Anfield, so they already played. So this game is actually at Old Trafford, so I'm tripping. All right, so good. So this game is at Old Trafford, people. Man United versus Liverpool. So let me see, people. I'm sure everybody going to want to have a say on this one. So what are your score predictions for the Old Trafford trip of Liverpool to Man United? First, a 2-1 Brighton gonna slip up. Yeah, man, everybody think the Gunners are going to slip up, you know. Unpredictable game. Well, man, you have a tendency to play better against the better opposition. So that's what I am hoping for. So, Bull, is this your prediction? Is this your actual score prediction? All right. Bull said 4-1 to Liverpool. Wow. It's possible. They don't really defensive transition very well. But I feel like Man U will be waiting for that counter because Ten Hag says that no one can stop you guys on the counter. Had Chile say Man United 2-1 Ten Hag masterclass. Some would say Hag special. Hag special. Okay, so the 4-1 is a real one. All right, so look, people, me personally, this is what I honestly believe will happen in this game. I think that Man U will play one of the better games that they've played this season. My only big worry is the fitness test of the backline because Varane came off injured. Evans came in and had to come back out again. So what will the back four look like for Man U? That's my biggest concern. But I still think at Old Trafford, with knowing that this can kind of put a wrench in the title hopes of Liverpool, I think Man U gets something out of it. I really do. So I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw. Desmond 2-2. Yeah, that's my prediction. A 2-2 draw. I'm not gonna get greedy and say Man U win. I feel like it's gonna draw though. 2-2. Yeah, I think it's gonna be 2-2, people. Just want United not to lose. All right, fair enough. 10 losses will be in the unemployment line come Monday. Well, I'm drop 7 on him already, and him keep him jobbing us. So I don't know. Okay, end of the season, them say. Malasia, Monday. I never even know him was in. I don't even know what I'm to that Monday. I believe say Malasia and Quincy Promise are bridging or something. Cause man, I don't see the man for how long. No, it's not emotions. It's a real thing. Man United play the top teams well. They went to Anfield and got a draw. Yeah, a lot of people say I need to be worried about the Chelsea game and the Spurs away game. I'm not looking forward to the Man U game close to the end of the season. That's one that I definitely have circled. Because something about that place, brother. It's one of those places where anything can happen on the day. Yeah, man, fresh. I know say him have issues, man. Just look a joke, man, run. Somebody did say him and Promise are bridging for real and them are hide out together. I mean, see that on a Twitter thing. It was a joke still, but, you know, it was still funny to me. All right, so the next game, people, I think I got all the predictions out there. No more Liverpool Man U predictions. All right. Yeah, bro. Him did know something did go on. I don't know. All right, so Sheffield United and Chelsea, people. Sheffield will be hosting this one. You know, really and truly, they don't have much to play for. They're pretty much know their fate at this point. And this is the type of game that Chelsea would drop points in all season long. As you can see them draw with Burnley. You know, you never know what them going to give you. But I think Sheffield United won't win this one. So I'm going to say, people, Chelsea has never kept a clean sheet in ever. So Sheffield will score a goal. Probably Ben Brereton, the Chilean that them don't even want, because he don't speak Spanish yet. I think he will score a goal again. And then we'll get 1. But I think Chelsea will have 2 or 3. So I'll go 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 to Chelsea for this one. I think Chelsea gets the win. But what do you guys think in the comment section, people? Sheffield United to host Chelsea. And in the last game of the weekend, we have Spurs and Nottingham Forest. Boy, Spurs really need to win this game, you know. Will they do it, though? Nottingham Forest been getting some decent results. 2 draws and a win in their last 3. You know, after losing 2 tight ones, one to Brighton 1-0 and one to Liverpool 1-0. Tottenham with the up and down form. 3-1 win. Crystal Palace 4-0 win on the road with Villa. Then got 3-0 from Fulham. 2-1 over Luton and then drew 1-1. But for this game right here, I think Tottenham at home. Oh boy. Could see them drawing, you know. I think Tottenham probably wins this one late again at home. 2-1, I'm going to say. 2-1 Spurs. Let's check in and see. Bull said 2-1 to the Blues, as I did. And what did he say for the last game? Don't put it yet. Cyan said 2-2 with Chelsea and Sheffield. Wow. Actually, I agree. The most Chelsea thing to do is a 2-2. Medical staff making a doctor forward on my side with him, Arsenal. Oh, so my doctor. Yeah, man. We did get rid of all of them people, man. And a man, you get the disease now. I mean, it's a 10 hour run them too much in a training too. Yeah, man, we bring the saltness over them, man. Guzu the whole of them. Okay, so Bull going 2-1 Forest. So that's another one where we're going a little bit different there. Yeah, man, that was horrible. Spursy 2-0. All right, cool. So we have gotten through all the Premier League games, the ones that happen and the ones to come. So basically, people, that's pretty much it for the show, 2 hours and 44 minutes, put in a nice long run, we don't know. Didn't feel like a lot of time though, because we had fun doing it and we went through and we got through all the stuff. So yeah. So the main thing, people, Reggae Boyz in action. Gonna keep doing this week to week. Make sure we check on the players, see how they're progressing. Definitely respect all the interaction that we had with the fan base throughout the chat. All the people that stuck with me throughout the show. Respect for the marathon. All those who were able to catch some of it, thanks so much for viewing the content. Hopefully you were able to drop a like. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, remember to share it around to some friends. Subscribe to the channel. We are fastly approaching that 1,000 milestone, so help us to get there. Hopefully we garner some more subscriptions tonight. But yeah, that's it, people. Just want to say respect again to all the people who have found the channel and I've shared it to all those who always support. Respect Fresh God, respect Martin Baker, Stefan Wright, Hot Chili, big up yourself, Cyan Bowen, respect Bull, respect Nicholas, respect Damian, Jeezy, big up yourself, big up to Big League Len, Duckland Stennett, respect Jason Ferran did there earlier, respect, Drew Ross did there from the beginning, respect. Yeah, man, all of the people that we miss out, man. Enough love and respect. Thanks again for tuning in, people. Remember, Jason Gooner TV, new channel on the block. Definitely there for enjoy, break down the football. Football is my thing, people. Yes, we know a lot of drama going on in the JFF. And from time to time, we might touch on it and give what takes. But yeah, this is something that I definitely enjoy doing. And definitely gonna always include Reggae Boyz, always gonna include the EPL with the Gunners, and definitely gonna look into the summer to all the competitions coming up as well. So yes, people, probably won't do another live stream until the weekend. As I said, people, the family and I will be headed to the SheBelieves Cup this Saturday. Definitely will take pictures and stuff and maybe even go live a few times in the stadium just to show people how it look and things. So look out for any notifications Saturday with just some shorter videos just showing you, a day in the life of Jason Gooner with the family at a nice event, getting some sports involved and everything. So yeah, man, respect for everything, people. Thanks for likes. I see Fresh said we had 100 likes tonight, so that is great. Definitely gained some subscribers as well along the way, so we're very thankful for that. Father Bling, respect, bro. If it's your first time, you don't know, I know you know the streets, I watch everybody, but you don't know this is another place you can get some great football discussion and get some knowledge as well. One thing I want to say before we do sign off, Phil B had asked a question earlier in the chat. Let me see if I can actually find it again and highlight it just to answer it. He had mentioned Kaheim Dixon and what I thought about, what would be his next steps, whether it would be best for him to go to Europe or to go somewhere in the USA. So me personally, Phil B, what I will say on that topic is, Kaheim Dixon, I think when you look at his raw attributes, very, very talented player. I think one of the things that makes him stand out for me in the crop of the players that are playing locally is I do think that, his positioning for a forward and a wing forward is at a level that's above a lot of his peers in Jamaica. He seems to be somebody that very rarely is not in the right place when his team has the ball. And he also has a very good sense of, when to lay off passes, when to take on, making the right decision or the right choice. I do think that he's very good at that. Here's the comment. Do you think Kaheim Dixon could be effective in MLS or better off in Europe? Yeah. So I think what he has attribute-wise, I think his game does translate to European football. I don't, most of our attackers tend to be of the fast and stronger variety. I do think that he's a bit of more of a hybrid in terms of like how he uses his IQ to create space and also just using raw pace as well, because he does have the pace. But I think where he lacks a little is, his strength is not where I think it needs to be at his best. So with that being said, I worry that in the MLS, where I think that sometimes that strength aspect, especially in forwards, unless you're just a completely skillful, tricky player, they really go for that bigger target forward in the MLS more often than not. So if he does go there, I see coaches basically employing him mostly on the wing. Whereas I do think that if he goes to Europe, that space creator, that manipulator of space, those players, even if they don't have the size, could still get game time in some of those European more technical leagues. We're talking the Belgiums, the Turkeys of the world, even the Swedens of the world. So for me, I think if he goes somewhere like Belgium or Turkey, I wouldn't be surprised if it's to a second-tier team first, just to ensure that he's getting the proper game time and minutes in his development. If he goes to a country like Sweden, maybe he could get into a first team and still get a decent amount of minutes, even at this age. So I think it just depends on where and what level in Europe, because I would hate to see the player go to a club that maybe he will need a lot of development, that he just ends up getting sent somewhere on loan. I would rather him go to a club where he can stake his claim into the first team, in his first season. And I think at the level he's at now, if he does go to Europe, it's going to have to be one of the smaller, more developmental feeder leagues. Or if he goes to a bigger country, it's going to have to be one of the lower tier leagues, I think, to start out. Now, if he goes to the US, I'm thinking, with his skill set, he could go to an MLS team. But I still think that they're going to look at him and say, he's going to need some time in the gym before we can really rely on him. So that's the only reason why I would think I don't really want him to go to the MLS. I do think if he goes to the US to play, the championship level right now is probably where he would have the best chance of getting, real proper minutes when he first gets there. And I don't know if I really want to see him at the USL championship level, really. I think that he's a player that can make it in Europe, and I would love for his first move to be there. So hopefully that answers the question for you, Phil B, of how I feel. I think the best place for him to be would be somewhere in Europe, maybe not necessarily the top tier of the European leagues. Sweden, anywhere around Norway, Denmark, those type of places, I think would be a good spot for him. But if he goes to Belgium or Portugal, I think that would work as well. I just think that we have to be more patient if he goes to a Belgium first division or Portuguese first division club. It probably will be a loan spell or a lot of youth team development before getting the first team chance. So, that's what I think. And of course, based on who is representing him, we have seen the Macedonia, Slovakia, Serbia route taken as well. So that could be something that we could see from him too. So that's my take on Kaheim, people. Sky's the limit for the kid. Just hope he keeps grounded, keeps his head to the ground. By all accounts, he seems to be somebody that does have his head squarely on his shoulders. So long may that continue. And that's what I think about it. And that's my take on that. So people, again, almost 3 hours, long show. I want to bless up everyone one last time and say respect. And until next time, people, it's your boy Jason, Gooner TV, and we're out of the building. Blessings. Peace. Up.